highlight reel. Let's review. What's the deal, okay? Watching footage going out of control. Buckle up, we got an hour to go, so let's go. That's straight heat. Ain't no chillin' around here. Back that back, Nat Chance, how we feelin' around here? Got my whole squad in the building around here. If my name ain't on it, then I really don't care. Come on. 3-point stance, we advance. Ball in my hands, I don't take no chance. Touchdown dance, that's my jam. No hot takes, this is nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. On the beat, hey. Yeah.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? Really like that. You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Monday evening here inside the studio. Have an absolutely loaded show for you guys tonight. The AP poll dropped late last night, about 8 o'clock last night, it felt like. AP poll dropped last night. We have reactions for you guys tonight. We will also have updates on quarterback battles all across the country. Been a lot of teams scrimmaging this past weekend, and a lot of teams giving plenty of access to those scrimmages. So we have intel on those. We also have potential sleeper picks tonight. We'll go through some SEC win totals on tonight's show as well. Guess the Lines makes its first appearance on the show on tonight's broadcast, and much, much more. Make sure you like and subscribe and telling a friend. Over 102,000, 102K on this channel. Play buttons in the mail. The play button's on the way to the studio. Excited to get that inside and put up on the wall. Well earned and well deserved. Thank you to you guys for that as well. Let's go ahead and start the show off. We got some news for you guys, not only regarding the AP poll, but we also have a new presenting sponsor on tonight's broadcast and for the remainder of the season. I know y'all been wondering. It's been up to some season for a little while around here. We've been teasing it. Tonight, we will be announcing that we are super excited to be partnering with our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. You guys will hear plenty about those guys tonight on tonight's broadcast, but the link is in the description. If you want to support those who are supporting us, please run over there and do that for us tonight. Boys, I want to start with the AP poll. All right, the AP poll dropped. You know, we're big AP poll guys. We live and die by the AP poll. Amen, Christian?
Yeah. I don't know why that was like such a question that felt ironic, but no, I think the AP poll is fine. I've never had.
I think the ironic thing is that everyone rushes to clutch pearls about the AP poll. That's the thing that I always get a little enamored with. It's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. The AP poll dropped. Everybody's got to have a hot take about it. But I got several points.
It's part of the magic.
It is part of the magic, the AP poll. I told you, and I feel like we've been telling you over and over and over again about the AP poll, or at least all these preseason polls. I thought 1 through 15 is pretty unanimous. I think like every poll I see has the same 15 teams ranked inside that top 15. From Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Indiana, whoever you want to have ranked number 1, all the way down to BYU at 15. Pretty unanimous who we think the top 15 teams are. The coaches poll had the same 15 teams. I had the same 15 teams. The AP poll had the same 15 teams. On3's consensus rankings had the same 15 teams. There is a tight-knit group of teams at that top 15. I like Ohio State. I like Oregon and Texas a lot more on paper. What do you think? What do you think AP poll has? Why do you think, I should say, the AP poll has Ohio State as the number 1 team entering the season? Because I feel like of all the teams on paper that are in that top 6, maybe even 7 groups, if you want to go all the way down to Miami, the more questions are about Ohio State than some of these other teams on paper.
I would say, just kind of looking at it from surface level, that one, you can almost bank on the fact that Ohio State is going to have the most consistent quarterback in the country. I mean, this guy was the most accurate passer in the country last season. That's what I mean by most consistent. You know what you're going to get out of Julian Sain, and on top of that, they have the best wide receiver in all of college football, maybe even the best offensive player in all of college football this season as well. I'd imagine those two things are a massive factor. And to this point too, like, I know that they lost a lot of pieces on defense, but I would say most people just kind of bank on knowing that Ohio State's defense is going to be solid no matter what. Like, no matter what the losses are, they're going to be good on that side.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I get the belief that you know that they're going to reload. It's Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, they're always going to be good. I just thought of all of the teams to be ranked preseason 1, I mean, I would have had them. I think I had them 3 on my preseason polls. It's not like I'm arguing that much. We're splitting hairs here.
Right.
But people will cling to they're the preseason #1 football team, and they may get out of their schedule 9-3. I mean, they have one of the tougher schedules in college football.
I mean, it's definitely a cursed position to be in. We've seen that before. So I think it's kind of the intersection of people really, really buy into Ryan Day, combined with the fact that, yes, it is brand awareness of Ohio State is always assumed to be an elite team, and they have lived up to that mantra for a while, combined with the fact that there's a lot of stars on that team. Say what you want about Julian Sain, he is one of the more accurate quarterbacks in college football. So I think that's where I'm understanding as to why it's at #1 for Ohio State. But again, you get to these top 3, top 5. Like, I wouldn't have scoffed at Oregon being #1. I wouldn't have scoffed at Notre Dame or even Texas being anyone in that top 5 could have been #1. So.
To Brooks's point, though, and I agree with this, like, Ohio State hasn't necessarily been talked about like how Texas or Oregon has this offseason. Like, don't get me wrong, people have high expectations for Ohio State, and if they ultimately made it to the national title game, nobody would be surprised by that. But as far as hype heading into the season and who people are really clamoring towards, it has been Oregon, it has been Texas, or it's been Notre Dame too. Like, some people are extremely high on Notre Dame. Ohio State, I would say, has been more so in the territory of Georgia this offseason, where everybody expects them to be good, everybody expects them to be in the playoff, but wouldn't rank them as a #1 overall team, or at least until today.
I mean, that was what surprised me most. Like, Texas had 5, considering the offseason that we've gone through, where they add Will Muschamp. Everyone's high on Archman. They've added all of these pieces. Cam Coleman. It felt like Texas was very much kind of the star of the show, and it was kind of the same way last year when they were ranked #1 in the preseason. So for them to be ranked 5 behind a Georgia, behind Oregon, behind all these teams, which, again, I get it. I understand it. I think you're still splitting hairs, but to hear that after this offseason where we've had Texas being built up was kind of surprising.
Watch the sound monitor while I'm talking, the one underneath the table, see if I'm actually getting red. It sounds like we're having mic issues. I don't know why. We did all kinds of sound testing before the show.
It's really normal on here too, and down there.
That's what I thought. We tweaked it a little bit. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. I mean, we did all kinds of reads before the show and all kinds of film studies before the show and didn't really have any problems. Now we kicked the show on, says it's better. Okay, sounds like we got it.
Muted?
We'll say what?
Is the lab muted?
Yeah, the lab is muted. Everything's good on this end. Sounds way better now. All right, we're good. All right, sounds like we fixed
Nobody
it.
touch anything.
Nobody touch anything. Don't do it. All right, so we're good there. Did you guys talk about Penn State? I feel like Penn State's ranked 18.
I wanted to talk about
because people know that they're going to win a lot of games, but not because they're a good football team.
So you talked about how everybody's top 15 has been the same, like everybody kind of has the same top 15 teams. I would also say that everybody kind of has the same 15 through 20 as well. Like, it's been the same teams, in my opinion. Penn State's in that range. Michigan's in that range. SMU, Tennessee. And I think that's all because they expect, like Penn State, for example, everybody expects them to win a lot of games, but they may not expect them to ultimately make a playoff. Tennessee's in kind of this gray area where we don't really know, but everybody's kind of banking on what Josh Heupel and that offense have done in the past. Michigan was 9-3 last year, so you almost think that they will take a step forward this year, but you certainly don't know. There's still some ifs and around that program, Bryce Underwood being the biggest one. Like, those teams, USC too, I put them in that category of like just a bunch of, we could see it. We'll put them kind of close by so we don't look too foolish if it happens, but ultimately we're going to kind of hide ourselves here.
Yeah, I think Penn State at 18 is kind of a joke. Like, Penn State might have a record that warrants them being the 18th best team, or a schedule that would be very favorable to them being the 18th ranked team. I don't think that they're the 18th best team in college football. And I get you're splitting hairs at that point, but that's not a top 25 roster. They didn't have top 25 results last year. I don't think it's a top 25 roster this year. it's kind of gross. And for that argument, like, why is Florida not in the top 25? I've very much been against Florida being in the top 25. I'm the same way with Penn State. If you're going to put one of these teams in, why is the other not in? I would argue that Florida's roster was probably more talented than Penn State's last year in some regards.
Did you guys find it as disrespectful as the internet seemed to and as I seemed to that Indiana is 6? I had them at 5 in mine. I think it was preseason, so I'm not like throwing too many stones there, but go ahead.
I don't find it necessarily disrespectful. Now, if you want to look at it through the lens of, like, I saw some people talking about, like, if you look at it from a votes perspective, where Indiana received quite a bit of first-place votes, well, for them to end up at 6, that also means that some people had them ranked lower than 6. That's disrespectful. Like, that aspect of it is disrespectful. But, I mean, being a top 6 team in this world of college football, that's not disrespectful at all, in my opinion.
No, I don't think that. I mean, if obviously Kurt Cignetti and the Indiana fans can use that as disrespect or, oh, the Hoosiers are being doubted once again. It's not like they're outside the top 10. It's like they're barely outside the top 5 for that matter. So I don't think it should be taken as disrespect. It can be used as disrespect because you did go 16-0 last year, dominate everyone in your path, and win the Natty. But I don't think it should be taken as doubts or disrespect or anything like that.
I know the internet was happy to see 2 teams not on that list, both ironically from the state of South Carolina, the Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers.
Yes.
Also, Dabo probably the happiest of all that because he gets to add that into everybody's doubting us. Nobody believes in us.
Sure,
We're a bunch of underdogs.
They were the closest to making it, though.
Woe is me, the Clemson Tigers. Like, Dabo is pounding that drum quite a bit this offseason.
I am so sick and tired of. It's been a decade of we're the underdog, we're the little guy. No one ever gives us a chance. Like, no one believes in us. People don't believe in you right now because you went 7-5 last year and you haven't really done anything of note in the last 3 years. Like, you backdoored your way into a college football playoff. You were given an ACC championship appearance because Miami couldn't beat Syracuse. I'm tired of
and that, by the way, that playoff game was over within two possessions. It felt like against Texas.
And Cade Klubnik had a really good third quarter, and he brought it within 1 score, and people were like, "Oh, Clemson 2025." I'm sick and tired of hearing about Clemson. I just wish they would go away.
Any other thoughts? Still don't understand the Utah love. Still, for the life of me, I think that is AP voters and coaches, even the coaches poll. I think they were 21 in the coaches poll. Everybody just assumes that Utah's been relatively decent for 15 years, so I guess they're going to remain relatively decent despite the fact that they lost their head coach and offensive coordinator.
I do have an issue with them being ranked ahead of Houston.
Yeah.
Like, I
love that the Cougars got at least a little bit of love, though.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're here, but I'm way higher on Houston this season than I am Utah. So I find that a bit odd that they're ranked ahead of Houston, considering the season that Houston had last year. And I think they very well could be the second best team in that conference this year, or they could even end up being the best team in that conference.
I don't think I see number 8 by Texas A&M, and I think that's a really high ranking. And then I look at the teams behind them, and I go, oh, well, I wouldn't put any other teams ahead of that.
Yeah.
Top 10 feels high for Texas A&M right now, but then you look at what's behind it, and it's kind of like, well, I guess it makes sense. That was a takeaway I had from that. I feel like also Missouri, Louisville, and Iowa just live inside the top 15 to 25, no matter the time of year, no matter the schedule. Like, they're always hovering around. They're always the 23rd or the 24th team, or sometimes they'll catch someone and bump up to 15 or 16, and then they'll lose again and fall right. They live in 15 to 25.
I think Mizzou being ranked is just, I don't know what we're doing.
It's questionable this year.
You know,
I don't. Where's the love and the hype around Missouri outside of the state of Missouri?
People make jokes about how Missouri is just one of those teams that always finds their way into the top 25, but I've also seen Missouri fans say that's not true and that they would completely disagree with that. But I think this is a complete instance of that, of Missouri's just ranked because they're Missouri. I don't know. Like, they just, like, Eli Drinkowitz seems to hold on to that range in the past few years. Like, he's just a 20 or 25 best team in college football.
I think the other thing is that's probably 13th is probably the lowest I've ever seen Alabama in a preseason AP poll in my lifetime.
It's the first time in over a decade, I believe, or it had been a decade since that.
I mean, in my adult lifetime, I was 11 by the time Nick Saban got that job, I think. So it's just been a constant top 10 football team since then. For them to pop up on this list 13th, pigeonholed in between Texas Tech and BYU, I think is a little bit of a difference than
Yeah,
normal.
I said this in the coaches poll. Texas Tech being ranked higher than Alabama is appropriate. If those two teams played tomorrow, I'd pick Alabama to win by 8 points.
Chat's talking about Miami lost a whole team to the draft. I'd be surprised if they don't lose 3 to 4 games. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised this year. You're also probably going to find out tomorrow when that Darian Minson film study drops. Oh my God, they got so much better at quarterback. So, like, the most important position in the sport, arguably in sports, period. Darian Minson is a significant upgrade from Carson Beck a year ago. Especially, I just tore my UCL ligament, Carson Beck. This is a considerable upgrade at the quarterback position. And yeah, they lost a bunch of defensive players, but they also signed one out of the portal that probably should have been an NFL draft pick in the form of Damon Wilson, who had 9.5 sacks last year in the SEC.
Yeah, something like
he
that.
might have went for double digits. He's going to be a really good football player. Mod Moten stayed on that roster. He's going to be a good football player. Marquise Lightfoot was a former 5-star and had, I think, 4 or 5 sacks last year as a role player. He's going to play on an every down basis this year. Them at 7 makes total sense to me on this preseason ranking. I think their preseason wins total in the is 9.5, and that's way over. Might even be 10.5 at this point. But anyways, any other thoughts on the AP Top 25 boys?
The only other one I had was BYU and USC being put in the same category, and literally, like, they're both ranked 14. Felt weird.
Was that a typo? Or
It's the same way on ESPN. They were tied for
just
votes.
You get tied for votes.
Does that ever? I've never seen that.
I didn't
thought
either.
They always
I thought it was
split them somehow.
I thought it was a typo too when I saw the graphics, but it's that way on ESPN too, and it's because they have the same number of votes.
Huh. I was looking at that like, someone's going to get a phone call over there in the
will they
on-3
both
graphic
be ranked
department.
14th? Like,
Well, no, because USC plays week 0, so they'll be.
so they'll just bump them ahead of BYU.
Well, no, because they don't
probably.
come up with rank. These are the rankings.
They don't come
for
up with
week
the rankings
1.
till
I
after
don't
week
know.
1.
I think maybe they'll just be ranked 14th. I don't know.
Huh? Interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, I can't recall an instance where I've seen that.
Huh.
Either way,
No Oklahoma State love.
they don't deserve it.
come on,
yet.
dude.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Look, as much as we want to love up on
If
Mestamaker,
Penn State can be in there at
I agree.
17 because they think they're going to win a bunch of games,
Look,
I'm
hey,
pretty
I
sure
agree.
Oklahoma State's going to win 8 or 9 games this year in the Big 12.
Penn State was bad last year. They were not Oklahoma
No, they
State
were
bad.
not.
You're right.
It was bad last year.
You're right.
So
That's
as
fair.
much as we want to love Mestamaker and them boys that they brought up from North Texas, I mean they got a big hill to climb up.
All right. Any other snubs we felt like got left out?
I don't
wouldn't
believe
say
so.
No.
We already talked about South Carolina. We addressed my Oklahoma State Cowboys.
We're starting that again. I can't wait.
Look out.
If you're new to the show, he claims 15 teams every year. He's bound to get one
Somebody
right.
said I was a Nebraska fan on social media yesterday, so just add that to the list. My Cornhuskers. My Cornhuskers. All right, let's show a little love to our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. Ladies and gentlemen, today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor over at Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Rivalries, trash talk, and bragging rights are all a part of the game of college football that we all love so much. But there's one thing college football fans can all agree on. Hard Rock Bet is easy, safe, and trusted with thousands of 5-star reviews. You can back your favorite football team all season long from the couch, hanging out at the tailgate, or even inside the stadium, especially for our friends down there in the state of Florida. Hard Rock Bet knows college football in Florida. They're Florida's only legal betting app on college football. But you don't have to live in the state of Florida to join the party Hard Rock Bet's got going on. They're also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, Colorado, and Michigan, with more states on the way. So if you don't have the Hard Rock Bet app yet, head over to hardrock.bet/filmguy. That's hardrock.bet/filmguy. Get the party started on Hard Rock Bet today. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Please gamble responsibly. We signed that deal, by the way, just for Bowden's flip phone. Just for Bowden's flip phone.
yeah.
My man down there in Florida, we signed it just for him. Hey, should we do this? Hey, our friends at Hard Rock Bet, let's give them 3. All right, we got some news coming out of this weekend's onslaught of scrimmages all across college football. Let's start with what I believe to be a quarterback competition that might have come to a close after their latest scrimmage up there in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Sounds that way.
It sounds to me, based off talking to some sources up there in Tennessee, that's Faison Brandon's job. It sounds like that's going to be the guy who ultimately wins that job. I heard he was dropping dots this weekend out there at their scrimmage. Big time, down the field, explosive plays. The other thing I talked to a source about is this. We know that wide zone or wide choice offense needs to be able to run the quarterback to be red zone efficient. Just a wild question. Which of those two quarterbacks can actually run the ball without, maybe potentially getting snapped in half?
That would be Faison Brandon.
Faison Brandon.
Okay. Not only that, he's the better runner of the football, in my opinion. So if it's all set and equal from a accuracy, turnover, playmaking ability, like throwing the ball, like everything is relatively similar, you probably go with the kid who can actually run the ball. Because you need to be able to do that in the red area. They were in the bottom half of college football last year in the red zone. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that they couldn't really run Joey Aguilar all that much. Not because he's not a decent athlete, but just because I don't think they had a backup last year.
No.
It was first year George McIntyre, and it was like, I don't think he's ready to go. They kind of had to figure out ways to be relatively decent in the red area, and I think they finished 72nd last year in the red area, and that's what we found out during the USF Byron Brown study, because we were trying to compare wide choice offenses in their red zone efficiencies, and Mississippi State and USF were considerably better in the red area last year than Tennessee was because they didn't have a threat at the quarterback position. 73rd. So Football Brain almost got that one. So there is that. Bad news for Tennessee. Farouk, their starting safety. Who's their defensive coordinator? My man from
Jim Knowles.
Jim Knowles said was hands down their best safety all offseason. He's out for the year. I think torn patellar. Some in his knee. It was a gnarly knee injury. Had to get taken to the hospital during the game. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. It looked like he was going to be an impact football player for them this year at a position of need. By the way, they were atrocious last year in the safety room.
The thing that sucks most about fall camp is stuff like that, and there's been a few stories like that so far.
Yeah, and it's all across college football. And I think what fans need to understand. We're going to talk about South Carolina here in a second. They lost 2 starters as well this weekend. That's football. Like, I know it sucks, and I know that you want to avoid this, and everybody but Indiana is going to have this problem. Everybody else plays football. Everybody else practices football. How they're doing it up there is beyond me. It is a tip of the hat, absolute respect. Have no idea how they are the execution football team they are without actually practicing football at a high rate, or at least a rep count rate. I don't know what they got going on. It's a magic elixir. It's a magic secret sauce that they have up there under Sig. But everybody else is due to experience some type of this. Hell, Alabama's got this going on with their running back situation as well. A.K. Deere going to be out for, I think, 6 weeks is what I saw.
Extended amount of time.
Xavier Crowell still in and out of a boot, has been in and out of a boot since spring ball. So it sounds like this is going to be something that you kind of have to deal with. And, even the new, the strength and conditioning staff at Tennessee is Indiana's strength and conditioning staff from last year.
Right.
So I highly doubt it's that. There's no correlative to that. So, yeah, I mean, some strength and conditioning staffs are not all that great. There's one out there in Midwest America that's notoriously, historically not that great right about now. But I don't know if there's not one thing you can point to other than it's football.
Absolutely.
This stuff happens. What are your thoughts on Faison Brandon over George McIntyre, if that's what it ultimately ends up being?
I mean, guys like Faison, and what I mean by guys like Faison, the guys who have the better traits and the guys who can throw every ball on the field and are athletic, tend to do very well in Josh Heupel's offense, and most quarterbacks have aged well in this offense. So I don't think it would have made too much of a difference whether they chose McIntyre or they chose Faison. But I think Faison is probably the right choice for them. I think that he will he will allow them to do more offensively than George McIntyre would.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, that's what Tennessee's going to need right now. They don't necessarily need someone that's just going to help them get through the motions. I think that Faison Brandon does bring an extra set of dynamics to this role that's going to allow them to open up the offense just a bit more, which is what you're going to need because we've seen the schedule. We know what the roster is. We know what the win totals are. It might be a rough year in Tennessee.
Let's move over to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where, by the way, I don't think that program has ever given that much access in the last 25 years of football. I feel like every time I look up, there's a new clip from practice from Alabama.
Definitely not the Saban era.
Definitely not the Saban era, which we're very well aware of because Kirby Smart runs this program nearest us as well tight-knit as humanly possible. I see the advantages of it on both sides, but apparently, according to Ryan Grubb, they will be naming a starter within a week. But says it's still really, really close. You have a look on your face. Before I make my point, I'll address your look on your face. What's up?
What do you set a timetable on when you're going to announce the starter, but you haven't? Like, I feel like if you have a timetable for when you're going to announce it, you've already made your decision.
You think so?
I feel like that. Like, why are we putting a hard stop on it before we go into 2 cupcake games?
Interesting question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer of it. If it were that close, I'm with you. Ride it out through the first 2 cupcakes. See which one of them plays better in live bullets. Here's my theory, all right, on this entire battle. If it is really that neck and neck, you kind of have to play Keelan Russell.
Agreed.
And you have to name him the starter because presumably whoever isn't named the starter, their agent's phone's going to vibrate up off the table with transfer portal, tampering going on. All right. So I don't know about you, but if I were an Alabama fan today and I were going through this, and some people claim that I am, Bama Brooks, if I put my Bama Brooks hat on right now today, I would tell you right now the worst fear I could have is Keelan Russell going playing somewhere else for the next 4 years. It would scare the life out of me. 3 years. It would scare the life out of me. Whereas if I ride out Keelan Russell and Austin Mack goes and plays for Washington and throws for 3,200 yards next year, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it would feel some type of way, but I'm good on missing out on Keelan Russell's career over watching Austin Mack. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of the way that I feel about that.
Well, not just that. We mentioned this kind of with Tennessee as well. Alabama's already banged up at the running back position. If you look at those 2 prospects and the 2 guys that you have on the quarterback room right now, which of those 2 offers you an opportunity kind of to alleviate some of the deficiencies you might have in the running back room? It's Keelan Russell. I think Austin Mack's a great quarterback. I think Austin Mack fits perfectly into the systems that Kalen DeBoer wants, but Alabama has not ran the football very well outside of a quarterback doing things for you since Kalen DeBoer got there. So,
no offense to my ECU Pirates. That's on me. All right. 1.5 cupcakes to start the season. All right. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, you had to clear the air there.
Yeah, it just had to get that out of the way.
Is it week 2 or 3 they play Florida State?
I think it's week 4 or 3. They go cupcake, half a cupcake, super cupcake, the team you just mentioned, and then Mississippi State. Florida State and then Mississippi State.
No, it's actually East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State.
Oh.
2 cupcakes.
Let's not be too disrespectful to Will Stein.
We'll get into the
You can't 2 quarterback system a SEC play SEC
No,
game.
I agree with that.
Fair enough. They did do it against Louisville in 2018.
And
though.
is that at Kroger Field?
I'm not sure.
I believe that's at Kroger Field.
That is.
If you don't know about Kroger Field, I'm telling you, there's something about that place.
Is that Kroger Field or is that Mark Stoops has got something on the line?
I think it's just one of those places where you go and it's like, it's Lexington, it's Kentucky, we're going to go up there. And it's just, it provides a boring football game. And that plays hand in hand with Kentucky over the years. It's just, that's what they're kind of hoping for. It becomes a boring football game.
We mentioned South Carolina's injuries. It's Jaden Sellers and Jaden Gibson, 2 wide receivers.
Yes.
On
Now,
top
for the
on
season.
top of all
I will
the
clear the air here. According to
Please do.
According to Too Deep, they are not listed as starters. Jaden Sellers was listed as a second string wide receiver. Jaden Gibson listed as a third string wide receiver. So if anything, if that is accurate, if that is correct, then they just lost some depth. But that's valuable in this conference. We know how quickly rooms can dwindle down. So sucks to have 2 wide receivers at the very least be out for the year.
I mean, they've still lost a ton of O-linemen.
Yeah, I was about to say, is Jakaris Peaks back practicing yet? Do we have
I
any
haven't
intel
heard
on that?
anything about that. in
Are
a
they
while,
playing
I feel
pickup
like.
games? That's the big question.
Sensitive subject still, I would imagine, for our Gamecock faithful.
Yeah.
Let's be careful on that one.
I'm just asking the tough questions.
Nah, you're right. Like, tough to lose depth already, especially for this season. Still haven't heard anything about Noah Rogers coming back at Alabama, but people tell me he should be back within the first month of the season, I believe. So they should get some help there. And Latsier Brooks has been in and out of practice, it sounds like, in a boot out there at Alabama. So a lot of people dealing with some injury bugs this spring practice or fall camp. What about Vanderbilt? Did we learn anything about a quarterback battle up there?
You know, there's supposed to be some intel going around.
Blazewicz, not the quarterback that's competing with Jared Curtis.
I believe so. There's supposedly intel that's going around that. From everything I've read, it's kind of one day's one thing's another. Different sources have different things. I think it's pretty 50-50 with that. I would say it depends on what Clark Lee wants for his team. Do they want to trot out the shiny new quarterback and build a lot of momentum around 2025, or do they want to actually let him develop and let him kind of sit behind?
You got a name for me?
Blaze Berlowitz.
Oh, so I combined them. Blazewicz. I like that.
And
Blazewicz.
according to Too Deep, Jared Curtis is leading the battle.
Here's my theory on this. I don't know if I would roll my future franchise out there until I know for a fact I can keep them upright. I think that would be my mindset on that quarterback battle.
I agree with you there because I subscribe to this theory all the time in the NFL where it's like, why would you throw your rookie quarterback and scar him up a bunch in his first year when you're not going to be able to protect him and there's really no hope for this season? But in this world of college football, if you don't think you're good enough everywhere else and you're paying this quarterback a whole bunch of money, I kind of think that you should play him. I don't want him to get hurt or anything like that. Now, if they're that bad at offensive line, then they have a whole other problem. It doesn't matter who you have playing quarterback.
Facts.
So maybe I would want a difference maker at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it is a questionable use of resources to put that much down and then supposedly not play him this year. But I agree. I think that it's one of those things where if you need a difference maker, if you think that you need a guy that evens things up, which what they've had in Diego Pavia, he even counts at least. And say what you want about him, he was a great college quarterback. I think that they'll probably lean Curtis, but
Y'all want to talk butter?
Butter?
Sure.
Y'all's algorithm's not filled with the horns as much as mine is. Y'all haven't seen this mic'd up clip of Arch Manning saying butter
Oh,
every
I
time
saw
he
it,
throws a ball?
but I didn't listen to it.
Butter!
I did not see this, no.
Yeah, every time he throws a dot, he calls it butter.
Huh.
Butter. That's all he was saying, butter. I will say this. The internet is freaking out about all of his high-thrown footballs. Not realizing that I think half of those are like red area drills, like we're going to throw this high, so you have to throw it high. We're trying to get it over underneath defenders. We're trying to make guys jump. But yeah, some internet freaking out about Arch Manning, as they tend to do.
It's either going to go one way or the other with those. Like someone's either going to say he's the greatest thing ever, or it's going to be the complete opposite. That's how analysis goes with Arch Manning typically on the internet.
I tend not to form opinions based on camp and stuff unless it's just so egregious, like we're throwing ducks or something like that. Like, we'll see.
I will say this. Texas A&M social media, you didn't fool me. You didn't fool me. Did you see this clip of Marcel Reed apparently connecting on a deep shot to Isaiah Horton?
No.
Marcel Reed's definitely aiming left when he lets the ball go, and that ball falls over the right shoulder of Isaiah Horton outside the numbers. Now, I'm not saying Marcel Reed didn't throw him that football. It was probably just a different clip, and it looked very chopped up to me.
Well, at least they're doing a better job with him than the Cleveland Browns are with Shadur Sanders online, because holy crap, they are not doing that man any justice whatsoever.
Or I was about to say the Eagles did it to Jalen Hurts too. What are these teams doing?
Yeah, dude, like
protect your Q.
Hey, the rule is you can show the interception, you just cannot show who threw it. Correct. That is rule number 1 of fall camp footage or training camp footage. Definitely not from your starting quarterback. That is big no-no.
Can I overreact to a South Carolina individual period video that I saw?
Absolutely.
Knowing that it's against the rules on here.
Go ahead.
We don't like to freak out about indie drills because they're indie drills. Like you're out there to get warmed up. The actual practice goes on during practice. However, that being said, guys, y'all got 1 million graduate assistants at all these Power 4 programs. 1 million people standing on the sidelines. And you got hella different coaches. I would imagine the wide receivers coach is not the only coach in charge of helping the wide receivers. All 25 wide receivers were lined up like back to back in a drill going through hip drops, right? Like you run up to one cone, you drop your hips, you run up to the next cone, you drop your hips, you run up to the third cone, you drop your hips and make the comeback and then catch a football. Couple problems. There's like 25 people in one line. Probably split those and get double the reps. Just an idea, coach. Just an idea. You got all the budget in the world. The other thing, if you watch the video, Nick Harbor doesn't even get a football. He comes out of the route and it's like he air catches a ball because the guy supposed to throw the football obviously wasn't ready for the drill to start. Pay attention. Come on, coach your coaches up out there at South Carolina. The other thing is even when they started to throw the football, it's like 9 hours late. Dude's coming out of his break, raises his entire pad level, jogs 3 or 4 steps, and is like, are you going to throw me the ball? And then eventually gets the ball. All right, that's enough. I freaked out about it enough. Can we practice a little bit better? Just practice a little bit better. I think that might help.
It's fair.
That's the head coach's job, by the way.
Yes.
The head coach's job is not to be over there with the field goal kickers or the special teams guys. His job is to make sure practices ran as efficient as humanly possible. That's the head coach's job. All right. Guess the lines or guess the win totals? What you want?
Let's do guess the lines.
Guessing the win.
We're going to do guess the
lines.
Now,
all right, Jonathan.
Here's the rule.
All right, here's the rule. No looking at the stream.
Yeah, I have new rules to lay down. No looking at the stream, as we will be providing our listeners with the lines for these games, courtesy of our friends
for
over
proof,
at Hard Rock.
I have blacked out my screen on my laptop.
I am looking at Christian's screens right now, and I can know that he is not looking at the stream right now, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those up for our viewers right now.
All lines courtesy of our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. All lines courtesy of our friends over at Hard Rock Bet.
So, if you're not familiar with this segment, we have done it the last few years. It is just as simple as the title, Guess the Lines. Brooks and Christian go mano-a-mano on guessing the lines for week 0. So, for instance, TCU versus North Carolina, the international game.
So, TCU's obviously going to be favored.
Yes, they'll definitely. It's a touchdown at least.
I mean, I think they win this football game by 35 points. I think they just destroy them out there. But I'm going to guess the line at TCU minus 9.5.
All right.
Damn, I was going to say that too. I don't think it'll be double digit. I'll go 9. Just an even 9.
All right, you have to go first on the next one.
All right. Well, Christian wins. It is TCU minus 8.5. So Christian is up.
I like the Horned Frogs there, don't you?
Yeah,
I mean, we both guessed the line a little bit higher. That's also the point of the segment, by the way. We're trying to find some value here. I think there's value in TCU minus 8.5.
Agreed.
I think they clear that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a particularly good football game. It'll be an ugly game.
Oh, it'll be sloppy. Bet the under if you can.
All right, the next game we have is San Jose State at USC.
Well, Lincoln's going to try to score 85 million points.
100%.
That's what Lincoln does to these lesser than mid-major football teams. Didn't he beat somebody 77-0 during his time at Oklahoma?
I think so.
I think he gave Savannah State a 77-0 loss in their first ever college football game. Just disrespectful to an HBCU program. Just totally disrespectful. Give me USC. Or no, you're going first.
I'll take USC minus 24.5.
Oh,
I think
it's got to be
really
way
low.
more than that.
I think that's really low.
It's got to be way more than that. Give me USC minus 34.
It is USC minus 38.5.
Yeah, Yeah, that was low.
Probably not touching it.
I wouldn't
but
touch it.
I want to because, Buddy from San Jose State going to get drubbed up in that football game.
It's still Buddy from San Jose State.
Well, it's new Buddy from San Jose
Yeah, I
State.
thought
Buddy
Buddy
from San Jose State is at Arizona now.
that's what I was gonna say.
New Buddy at San Jose State is out there now, and he finna get a 70-point loss to USC because they got to drum that up.
All right, the next game, NC State at Virginia.
This is a good game.
Your sneaky undefeated football team, the NC State Wolfpack.
It's true.
I'm not going to subscribe.
You put them in
to
the
this
category.
bit.
That's all that matters.
I asked, is it
They
crazy?
made the
No
segment.
clarifying the
How
takes.
disgustingly easy that schedule is. I do not think NC State.
They made the segment. That's all that matters.
This is at Virginia, right?
Yes.
You know how I know this? I thought about attending this week 0 because due to another partnership that we're going to announce pretty soon, we're pretty much going to have free reign to go wherever we want this fall.
Sick.
And it's only 6.5 hours from the house. Drivable, very drivable. And I'm itching to get to a college football game. I mean, I'm fiending to get to a college football game. I think Virginia's going to be favored in this game. Give me field goal in the hook. Give me Virginia minus 3.5.
Give me Virginia minus 5.
It is Virginia minus 5.5. So Christian is up 2-1 right
I think
now.
NC State wins that football game.
It'll be a good game. I think if there's any game on week 0 slate, it's going to be that. Or if Stanford and Hawaii gives us another classic, those will be the two games.
Another classic.
It was a classic last year, dude. What a way to start this. What a way to cap off the first slate of games last year with that Hawaii-Stanford classic.
All right, well, good
Did
luck.
Ashton Daniels get a degree at Stanford? Because if he left like 2 semesters short of a degree out there, I think that's probably a bad mistake.
I don't.
I mean, if
Was he a
Ashton,
graduate transfer when he came to Auburn last year?
I don't know. I don't know how many.
A random sidebar in
Yeah.
this discussion, but
If-
you don't leave Stanford's degree to
You
go be
do
a
if you're
backup for
getting-
Jackson Arnold.
you do if you're getting 6-7 figures.
He definitely wasn't getting 7 figures to be Auburn's backup, but he probably got a fat check.
For sure. You can always go back and get the degree.
You can. Next one, Jacksonville State at North Dakota State.
Oh, God.
Oh my God!
Yeah, good luck
we're
with this one.
Scraping the bottom of my expertise here.
So I would imagine North Dakota State is the favorite. That is
Typical.
quite a ways to travel from Jacksonville, Alabama. No, that's not where that's located. That's in. I don't even know where that's located in Alabama. I know it's on I-20.
Jacksonville, Alabama.
Really?
Yep.
Give me North Dakota State favored by 7.5. I was supposed to go second on this round, but I think we're both clueless as clueless could be.
Your guess is good. I'll go North Dakota State minus 10.5 just to make it interesting.
Brooks hit it on the nose. North Dakota State minus 7.5.
Look at this mid-major ball knower, this guy. Our G5 collectives just showing love in the chat.
There you
All
go.
right, it's tied up right now.
Make
both
sure you're
at
liking
2.
the stream, ladies and gentlemen.
How many of these are we doing, by the way?
We have 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the full slate.
Yeah, we got the full slate. All right, another one. Good luck. Sacramento State at Eastern Michigan.
Give me Sacramento State minus 3.5.
Well, you're flat wrong. Eastern Michigan's going to be the favorite in this football game.
Probably.
Well, for that matter, give me Eastern Michigan by, minus 3.5. They're obviously the favorite in this game.
Eastern Michigan minus 8.5.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah. By the way, will be more people in attendance for that football game than there will be for Stanford or Hawaii at Stanford.
Probably.
Book it.
Unfortunately.
Might have more people in attendance than both California home games combined. That'd be USC versus San Jose State and Hawaii at Stanford. Eastern Michigan gonna pack it out.
Hawaii at Stanford.
You're up.
I went up first last time.
Yeah, you're up.
Oh. Give me Hawaii. No way. Give me Stanford minus 3.
I think it'll be close. I think Stanford.
Pick them.
Stanford minus 1.5, honestly.
What'd you say?
These are two
Minus
bad,
3?
These are two bad football teams.
Brooks. Stanford minus 5.5.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Give me Alejado.
All right,
Where's
Christian.
Turkey Slammer at? Give me Alejado.
Amen. Amen. All right, Kirby, you have to win these last two in order to tie it up. New Mexico State at Florida State.
I think Florida State's going to be a pretty hefty favorite. And I think
You
it should
think?
be at least. Florida State minus 20.5.
All right, decent line. Over under the amount of bags on head pregame.
Oh, not for week 0 game.
Buddy, it was last year.
I don't really. What?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
No, Alabama.
They beat Alabama.
So they broke out the bags after the Virginia loss.
Yeah,
probably.
it's not going to happen in the first
They didn't
week.
start breaking out the bags till like mid-October last year. They had a great start to the season. They were ranking inside the top 10 at one point.
I wonder if Google has an answer for what fan base started the bags overhead. My first inclination was the New Orleans Saints.
Probably the Browns.
I was about to say the Browns is the first team I remember. The Browns were didn't they throw a parade for going 0-16? Like their fans got together and threw a parade for going 0-16.
Browns
Hugh Jackson was supposed to jump in the river after they won their first game, or if they went 0-16, I think it was. I don't think he claimed that
A
one.
line for the game.
Give me Florida State minus 35.
And Brooks seals it right there. Florida State minus 31.5.
Wow.
And just for funsies, Memphis at UNLV.
Ooh.
That's another close game.
Really good G6 matchup right
Honest
here.
to God.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a 10 o'clock kick. I'm going to be fiending at 2 o'clock in the morning for
This
that fourth
game
quarter
will
finish.
have playoff implications.
Yeah, it will.
Sounds weird to say, but it's true. I think you're up.
Memphis minus 2.5.
Give me Memphis minus 4.
You said 2.5?
Mm-hmm.
It's UNLV minus 5.5. So
Wow.
Brooks takes
Wow.
it, but both of you are off.
Did not think UNLV would be.
I think Memphis goes out. Oh, I don't know.
Dan Mullen.
People are high on
Scott,
UNLV this year.
is. I
Yeah.
mean, people are very excited about Alex Orji, which.
Isn't Jackson Arnold the projected starter?
Yeah, but people are very
That
excited
one
about
clip
Alex
got
Orji.
him.
People are very excited about
People are
Alex Orji.
excited about Alex Orji in 2026. That's crazy.
I mean, people are excited about Jackson Arnold in 2026, too.
All lines brought to you by our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. hardrock.bet/film guide today. Head over there. All lines subject to change. All right, let's stay with our friends over at Hard Rock Bet and start looking at some of these lines, okay, for this SEC wins total, all right? Now, here's the deal. We are not going to go 1 through 16 today because we'll be here all night. What we are going to do, however, is give us 3 overs, 3 unders, and 3 don't touch it's. All right? Memphis have Aaron Nolan? No, he is at Arkansas. He followed his head coach to be the backup up there behind Kevin Jackson.
Yes.
Just news there for you. All right, so Jonathan's already rolling the totals down there at the bottom. You can start seeing those, again, courtesy of Hard Rock Bet. All right, here's the deal. 3 overs, 3 unders, 3 do not touches, and any pick that is a consensus for us, we're going to go over to Hard Rock and put it on.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So that's the deal. Let's start with the overs, gentlemen. Who do you feel confident about?
No.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and rip this one for an over because I think this one should be a lock. This isn't me just being a homer. Georgia, 9.5.
Agreed.
I mean, you're either betting on Kirby Smart and going 9-3 this year with what people are deeming the easiest schedule in the conference, or you're betting on them to at least go 10-2. I will bet on Kirby Smart and Georgia going 10-2 all day long.
The floor is 10-2 as long as Kirby Smart is there. I
Yeah.
said that last year, and everybody was like, "You're an idiot."
So I think
they
it's one of the
almost lost to
locks.
Tennessee. Ha! 10-2. I got them 11-1, so yeah, I'm cashing that over. It was one of mine. I thought it
I
was a
think
layup.
that's the obvious lock for all of us. Over, you hit the overs until they don't hit with Georgia.
All right, I'm gonna put my money where my film study mouth is
Oh, yeah?
on this over. Mississippi State 4.5.
Look, I almost jumped on board with this, and then I went and looked at the schedule and tried to count up the wins.
All right, they have one of the toughest stretches maybe in college football
to
history.
close.
Oh, no, it's right there in the middle. Right there in the middle, I think they play LSU, Alabama, Texas, and like they play 4 of the top 6 SEC teams. Oklahoma back to back to back with one bye. It's absolutely brutal in the middle of that slate. So I'm a little bit with you on that forefront from a standpoint of it's tough, but I think the litmus test for this gamble on Kamario Taylor will be at Minnesota week 2.
Yeah, that's
Like
the other thing.
if you
too.
get past that, you're going to be all right.
There's too many games where I looked at it and was like, I like even the Minnesota game. I was like, that could go either way. I could see Minnesota winning. I could see Kamario Taylor and getting Minnesota with their pants down. It's just that's the definition of Mississippi State. That's one I wouldn't put money on right now.
They're going to get someone. I don't know if they're going to get enough people to go over.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Oklahoma Sooners over 7.5.
This was disrespectful.
I think that defense alone is good enough to win you 7 games, not even mentioning how dynamic John Mateer can be at times. He's definitely, careless enough to lose you a game or two, but There are plenty of opportunities to win 8 games on this schedule. I think Oklahoma is a lock for an over for me.
Yeah, 7.5 I think is a consensus. Yeah, go ahead and throw it up.
Okay.
7.5 is a consensus for us. I think we all have Oklahoma put in this. So far we all have Georgia 9.5 going over, and we all have Oklahoma 7.5 going over.
Yes,
right there. So those are 2 locks for us as a consensus show. I put Mississippi State in. What is y'all's third one?
I have Ole Miss at 7.5.
We have the same exact list.
Yeah, I feel like these were the easiest for me to pick, the overs, that being because I felt it was very disrespectful for Oklahoma. I don't know why Ole Miss is listed at 7.5. It's very easy for me to see them going 8-4. I think the quarterback and the running back are good enough offensively that they're going to be fine there. I think they're going to be a little bit better defensively this season. They were almost in the national title game last year. I just don't see a world where they're going 7-5 this year.
Yeah, 7-5 is borderline catastrophe for Pete Golding in that first year at Ole Miss, especially with a quarterback like that, especially with a running back like that. Now, injuries can happen. We don't know all of the stuff, but right now, 7.5 is way too low for Ole Miss.
Do you still love the Oklahoma 7.5 knowing it's -160?
I mean, yeah.
I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You take a lock.
Yeah. Do you take a lock no matter what?
Absolutely.
If you get a lock, you
That
take a
just
lock.
means so many people have been hammering it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Is that good on overs?
Yes.
Sir.
All right. So our consensus pick was Georgia and Oklahoma. So let's go put that into the slate. I would imagine you can parlay these at the end. So that would be dope. Yeah, I got Georgia 11-1. I don't know where the 1 comes from, but I got them 11-1.
Yeah.
I mean, even at 10-2, I think that they're fine. They're not going 0-3 against Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Bama.
All right, let's start fading some football teams. Who do you got in this under category? I thought this was the toughest one to do.
I really tried hard to find 5 wins for Arkansas, and I can't.
Line's
do it.
4.5.
I'm with you there.
It's a tough schedule. You're in a first-year head coach. They've invested a lot of resources, and that's fine. Maybe Ryan Silverfield is a guy, but the talent they have on the field just doesn't match. Like, I don't think they're going to beat Utah at Utah. They'll beat North Alabama. They'll beat Tulsa, but after that, like, you got to get 3 more teams, and you got to get 2 more if you beat Utah. I just don't know how they're going to do that this year.
Yeah, I hate saying that 4 wins might be the ceiling for them, but that's kind of how I view Arkansas. So I took them on the under as well. I hate doing this, but I had to ultimately come up with 3 unders, and there weren't many that I liked, but this one I ultimately settled on because I just think that there's a world where this happens and this football team ends up as 8-4, and it's Texas A&M. I think it could end up being there's just a world where I see it happening, and there's a more plausible world where I see it happening compared to some of these others that I had that were listed. I don't love it, but that's where I have them, unfortunately.
Should have mentioned this in the overs. LSU at 8.5. Is that Thunder? Mm-hmm. LSU at 8.5. Spoke to some LSU people the last couple of days. I had one source tell me he thinks they're a flawless SEC roster apart from interior offensive line and interior defensive tackle.
Oh, like the 2 most important positions on it. Like,
I mean, you could argue.
it's also.
But when has Lane Kiffin ever had a great offensive line? That system defies all logic from an offensive line standpoint.
I would also say inside sourcing is probably not the best place to.
From a hype standpoint, you're probably right.
If they're coming out and saying we're going to suck this year, you probably need to get some new coaches.
Well, a couple of the guys, specifically one of those sources, Jonathan's heard him on the phone before. He don't hold back.
No,
if they suck, that guy's gonna say they suck.
That's fair.
They're really, really infatuated with their quarterback right now. They love Sam Levitt out there. So, and we just got done with that film study. If you want to watch it and pay attention to it, I got Vandy as an under at 6.5.
Yeah,
I think we're smelling another 5-7 Vandy football season.
I'm cool with it. They didn't make my list, but it's very believable for them to be 5-7.
Vandy's a close one for me. I didn't really touch that, but I have Tennessee as an under, and I hated putting them there. And this was kind of the last one that I wanted to put. They were the last team that I picked to go under, but I could see them going 7-5, especially with a first-year quarterback, especially with that schedule. They've got a lot of difficult games.
Yeah,
Texas comes into town. Alabama's never an easy out, even though it's in Knoxville. I could see that team being 7-5, especially considering they were 8-4 last year.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't put them on there. I almost put Tennessee on my unders take, but I think Josh Heupel's a good enough coach to have them 8-4, and that's why I didn't put them on there because I know that a lot of people would disagree on that, but I have belief in Josh Heupel. I think he's a good coach, at least in this conference for sure. And I think they're good enough to be 8-4 this year, no matter who the quarterback is.
They're going to come up in my do not touch category just
I'd put them
because
there.
there's so much unknown
That's fair
right
as
there
well.
between defense coordinator first year under Knowles, first year starting quarterback, even if it is Faison Brandon. But you're right in the sense that I'm not touching the under because, I mean, I didn't think they were going to be a 9-3 football team last year, 8-4, whatever they ended up. I thought it was going to be, a little bit rougher. So Heupel's a damn good football coach. I'm betting on an absolute fallout.
Ooh, where?
South Carolina.
Fair.
That's do not touch.
6.5. I think midway through October, they're going to be scanning for a new football coach.
That is a real possibility, and I think that's a fair one.
And that schedule, Jonathan, that schedule is brutal.
There's so much volatility, though. I hate it. I just don't want to touch anything South Carolina. They're the definition of the team that you don't want on your schedule necessarily. You don't want to bet on them this year. Like, everything about them is just look away, don't touch it, just leave it alone, and we'll see what happens. That's my perspective on it, because there is talent on that roster. There's a world where it goes in a great direction, and there's a world where it absolutely plummets into the earth and is to never be seen again. But with that said, my other under, Missouri 6.5.
I have Missouri at 6.5 as well. I think they're going to start the season strong. They'll play Arkansas, Pine Bluff. They'll lose to Kansas. They'll play Troy, Mississippi State, and then after that,
Wait, whoa. What'd you say?
Losing to Kansas, huh?
you guys heard me.
Yeah, we know this.
God is angry at you right now for saying
the
that.
Thunder was going off before that.
The Thunder just happened.
We know somebody on this stage isn't an SEC homer. Kansas beating Missouri, huh? Week 2.
I'm sorry.
The bid is done.
Okay.
God forbid
bid's done.
a guy
The bid
picks-
is done.
a
Put
guy
the spoon
picks
down,
one
son.
team and sticks to it as opposed to 15 teams over here. I'm on the spoon. I'm not getting off. But yeah, Missouri's an under for me.
I'm not touching it. I've got him with 6 losses, but Drink's going to sneak up on somebody.
Yeah, that's fair.
Drink gets somebody that he shouldn't, I feel like, every single year. I am betting, and it's a tough one to get into because the lines on these are real tough. Except for like Oklahoma's just downright disrespectful. 7.5. I mean, they got defense, baby. They're gonna win 8 games.
And I was talking to you about this pre-show. Seeing Oklahoma at 7-5 almost makes me a little terrified because I feel the complete opposite of what the betting odds are saying, and that always makes me nervous. Like, if I feel I'm that far off from them, I just instantly think, like, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? I don't know. There's something weird about that, but I will firmly believe that they're just dead wrong.
Normally, these people setting these lines know a little something.
Yeah, typically.
But 8-4 is very doable at Oklahoma.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it should be. I mean, I think I got them making the playoff this year, so they better not be 7-5. I am fading Auburn, though, at 6.5. And here's why. Like, I think Auburn's going to be good. I think Alex Golesh is the coach for them. I think that offense is finally going to make some sense. We watched the Byron Brown tape the other day, and it basically turned into a love fest for Alex Golesh's play calling. That's what it turned into. But here's the 6 games that I have them losing. You ready? Florida, Tennessee, which if anybody's got the answers to maybe stop his own offense, it's probably Heupel.
Yeah.
Probably going to have a deep rundown for Knowles right there. Georgia, Auburn at Georgia is never going to go well, no matter who the football coach is. Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
There's 6 losses on that slate.
Certainly.
And the only one I feel a little bit questionative of is that Tennessee matchup.
Could just be a shootout.
Could be a shootout, and they could win it. But I do not see Auburn pulling 2 out of the hat right there.
Yeah.
And that means they go flawless everywhere else. So, and Lord knows the Vandy game's been tough for them the last couple of years, too.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, I'm with you there. All of 3 of my don't touches, we've already talked about. Mississippi State at 4.5, I'm not touching. Tennessee at 6.5, I'm not touching. South Carolina at 6.5, would not touch at all. All 3 of those teams, there's just like Mississippi State, very easily could see them winning 5 games with how that offense is operated. Like last year, they could have had 2 more wins to their win total last year. They had some close ball games with some good football teams. They got better at the quarterback position this year. That could happen again this year, and it might fall in the other direction for them. Tennessee, although I think that they are better than 6 wins, I think that Josh Heupel is good enough for that. I just don't know what the defensive answers are going to be this year, especially after losing Farouk. a lot more questions defensively than I would like to have, but I think the offense is just going to be fine, and that typically works out for Josh Heupel. South Carolina, we've already talked about it. I mean, I just would stay away, wouldn't touch. I got to see it to believe it.
One of my do not touches is the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
7.5 is, I feel like 7-5 is the perfect expectation for year one under John Summer. I could see them going 6-6. I could see them going 8-4. I think anywhere from 8-4 to 6-6 is the perfect range. I am not touching that line.
Here's why I'm not touching it. Because going into the season, I'm already marking down losses in my head for Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, and Oklahoma, and that already puts you on the line. Like you're 8-4, best case scenario, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not one of these layups I feel like Hard Rock gave us with Oklahoma.
Right.
No.
Or even Georgia at 9.5. Like the schedule says they should win at least 10 games there. You mentioned Tennessee. I'm not touching it. Way too many unknowns in that situation up there. And then Missouri at 6.5. I mentioned a little bit earlier. There's a lot of losses on that schedule. It's one of the harder ones in the conference as opposed to what it's been the last couple of years. I feel like Missouri's got a decent shake schedule-wise the last couple of years. But I feel like even if I mark down 6 losses, one of those 6 teams that I have mentally beating Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz's going to get one of them. that guy's going to stand on business with somebody late in the season, and he had no business beating them. And I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be somebody. I think one thing, looking over these SEC win totals, that 9th game knocked all of these down.
100%.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mathematical. Half the teams have got an additional loss.
Well, and I'm going to sound like one of the Big Ten. It takes away one of the automatic wins for a lot of these programs, too.
Definitely.
Like, because I was looking through these schedules, and when I saw Mississippi State at 4.5, I was like, oh, well, they'll already get 3. And then I was like, oh, no, never mind. They play Minnesota now. Like, they have to play one of those games, so it's not as easy to just say, oh, yeah, they could get there.
Yeah, the other don't touch I have is LSU at 8.5.
I would agree with that.
I don't know what to expect from LSU. There's a lot of hype around it. There's playoff aspirations. I think that there's also a possibility they come out and go 8-4 this year. It's not an easy schedule. Alabama's not an easy out for them. They've got a bunch of difficult teams on the schedule. I'm not touching LSU. And then my final do not touch team, which I'm kind of surprised wasn't mentioned, Texas.
Yeah.
Like
the schedule's brutal.
It's a brutal schedule combined with the fact that we've seen, guarantees before, and Steve Sarkisian has underdelivered. Last year is a perfect example of this. I could see them going 9-3 again, despite how talented that schedule is. So, do not touch the Texas Longhorns.
Talented that roster is. Listen to this stretch Mississippi State's guy, and we're about to go to the local hour. Now, we think Missouri's a can. So, but
I don't know if I'd say a can.
They're not great this year. They're not the 25th overall football team going into the season like they are right now in the AP poll. But let's just say they are. Okay, Missouri, 25th ranked team, 13th ranked Alabama, 11th ranked LSU, 10th ranked Oklahoma, 5th ranked Texas. Those are 5 straight football games for the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
All that tells me is someone's dreams.
And by the way, they end the season at Ole Miss, the 9th ranked team.
All that tells me is someone's dreams are getting wrecked over that stretch. They're going to get one of them. I'll say it right now. One of those teams is going to lose to Mississippi State.
I agree.
I'll say it right now.
It's Missouri.
Well, a non-Missouri team in that stretch
That's fair.
is going to get got by Mississippi State.
Is it Alabama?
I don't know. You have to find out. That would be very on brand for Kalen DeBoer now that I think about it. Would be one of those games. But maybe he's a changed man.
That's right. Hey, we have a whole nother hour coming up on the other side of the break, and it is our best hour, our local hour.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog?
What's up? Really like that. You really like that?
Let's shut up and grab some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here on the Film Guy Network for a loaded local hour. We've got AP poll reactions, local hour edition for you guys tonight. We also have some scrimmage notes from sources from Saturday's first scrimmage, the McGill Society in attendance. So I'm sure you've seen plenty of overreactions from the the people in the McGill Society. We also have our Auburn preview tonight that's been on the Local Hour show notes for, I feel like, a week now.
Yeah, they've been here for a while.
And we're going to get to it tonight. I can promise you that right now. And Jonathan is going to lose his mind talking NFL rookie reactions. Mm-hmm. You prepared?
Oh, I'm prepared.
You prepared?
I've been prepared.
Oh, buddy, I had to stop you in pre-show because I'm like, whoa. Doing show right now, and the people need to see this.
Oh,
they need to see you have a conniption right now. And you just want to get it off your chest right now?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Look, the emotions have been here since
About to be the
Saturday
number
night.
2 fan?
The emotions have been this way since Saturday night, and they haven't left. They're not going to leave right now. We can let it simmer a little longer. It might age me a little more, but that's okay.
Hell yeah. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you are telling a friend. The number's looking good right about now. The likes are not. I need you to hit that thumbs up button if you're in the chat format right now. All right, so make sure you're supporting the channel and supporting the stream by hitting that thumbs up button. Guys, that's how we get put in front of new people. All right, we need your help. All right, so make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. The whiteout is officially official.
Yes.
We even have a wardrobe, Kirby.
Yeah, official for the fans, too. That's exciting.
You got to wear that white. So, yeah. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for the striped Sanford was such a massive success last year, and it was thrown together in, 4 days?
It was the week of the game. I know that.
Yeah, it was the week of the game. So the fact that this is, a month out and fans, they've got merch and they're encouraging that, I think it's going to look really cool. You're going to get the jokes of like, oh, wow, stealing from Penn State, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really unique. It's going to bring a lot of energy to a noon game on a very hot Saturday in September. So I think it's going to be exciting.
I mean, it's a nice and easy way to maybe add some more excitement to a game that isn't rather exciting, playing Western Kentucky, that is. So I think it's a great way to get maybe some more buy-in from the fans. How successful it will be, I don't know. But, I mean, hey, look, I don't hate the idea of it. I don't hate them trying to add new wrinkles to try and heighten up the atmosphere. It's like people have been very critical over the past few years about the atmosphere in Sanford Stadium and the pregame atmosphere in Sanford Stadium, and that they're not doing enough to get the fans more excited for football games. They're doing it. They're trying things. They're trying ways to make the fans more excited about football games. And you can cry and moan that it's Western Kentucky, but at least they're trying things.
Classic Georgia, never an original thought one. Nothing? Nothing? No reaction? I couldn't even rage bait my own co-host.
No, I was kind of confused on why you said that.
Well, you're just copying Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first you copied Alabama with the lights. I know you said that. I know. But damn, had an opportunity to rage bait.
Is there really any, hey, at least you're not rocking and I'm not saying this is no disrespect to the servicemen of this country. Have you seen the A&M uniforms?
Now,
weren't very cool in my opinion.
Technically, they are part of the military.
No, and that's why I said no disrespect to them, but
hey, we love the troops.
Was not executed properly in my opinion. We love the troops.
Camo does not look good. I'm sorry. Like
it's not supposed to be seen. You're not supposed to see it.
Well, we all saw those posts. Like, I do not think camo ever looks good.
Here's the take. This confirms to me that you will never unanimously get love for anything. I mean, there has been a portion of this fan base. This is my 9th season covering Georgia. I think that's right. We counted it up the other day, 8th or 9th. And for the entirety of my career covering the University of Georgia, people have been clamoring for them to wear something in terms of an alternate uniform. And they finally give it to you. And there's a relatively substantive portion of the audience that's like, ew, I'm just nothing but traditionalist for me. Give me the red jerseys and the silver breeches. How dare you wear white jerseys? So it's just that's what it confirmed to me. It's just like you will never, ever get a 100% unanimous decision from anybody.
No,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
life. Yeah. But I mean, I think it also it encourages a new faction of the fan base. It's a really good way to increase, engagement and drive up the atmosphere. I think students are going to be really involved with it. I think young fans, impressionable fans are going to be involved with it. If you're over 50 and you're a traditionalist, that's fine. You'll have the other 11 games where you'll have normal jerseys. So I think it's a nice meet in the middle compromise.
I was at that Terry Business meeting last week on Thursday, and as a guest speaker, me and 4 Georgia legends and the fat-headed YouTube guy. is how they introduced me. And the first question Murray asked the audience, and there's about 100 people there, it's like, who's in fan of the white jerseys? And about half the hands went up. And it's like, who doesn't like them? The other half of the hands went up. And you could have, you might as well ask for ID. It's like, it was split right down the middle. Oh, those are obviously young people, and those are obviously older people.
Yeah.
So that's about what it is.
And
It's
the
traditionalists and people who like new and fun things.
Yeah, and I get both sides of it. Like, I completely understand it. Like, Georgia has a look. Like, that has been their look throughout basically the entirety of their existence. It's been the silver breeches, the red jerseys, and the white jerseys. Like, that has been Georgia's look with the red helmets. And when you do that for so long, like, that's what people know and love. And it's a great uniform combination. There's nothing wrong with Georgia's current uniform-based combinations. But also, to my point, I would also argue to this, like, it's okay, though, to go outside of that every once in a while. Like, it's not like Georgia's Oregoning it now, and it's like, we're going to be rocking alternate jerseys every single week now. We're going to be mixing the red with the black and the white with the, like, it's just one game. It's Western Kentucky. So if you don't like them, I'm sorry, but it's not permanent. It's not going to last forever. It's one game. You'll be all right.
I almost wanted to break out the, you think white jerseys are cool, Kirby Smart? But instead I half-heartedly broke it out.
Goated video.
Goated video. Pops like Rennie Curran on a tackle. Hell yeah, it does. Saw Rennie this weekend.
Oh, good.
Still looks absolutely yacked.
He always will.
My God. Every time I see Rennie Curran, he's got to be what, like 35 at this point?
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm like, yeah, we're just genetics.
He's probably
I'm sure he works hard.
He's
I'm
probably
sure.
pushing 40, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, just looks like he could still play today.
Yeah.
Like, you just roll him out there and put him in pads, and he'll go stick somebody. Is that the last great linebacker to wear 35?
That's a great question. There's not a whole lot of linebackers.
Oh, at Georgia?
Period.
Off the
Period.
That's a really tough question for off the top of my head. I'm going to say yes. I'm sure chat will correct me, or there's someone that's worn 35 that was great, but I can't think of anyone.
I thought I remembered an Alabama linebacker wearing 35, but all these names that I'm seeing right now are not the ones I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way.
Like Jeremiah Alexander and Shane Lee.
Sean Lee.
It says Shane.
Shane?
Yes.
Huh. Sean Lee.
I can read.
The Dallas
can't
Cowboy
read, bro.
linebacker. Well, I can't, so I don't like to assume everybody can. You know who's in 35 right now?
Who?
Freshman Elijah Littlejohn, who, by the way, sources say is a hit. The former Coastal Carolina commit that Georgia flipped at the end of the cycle.
I thought that was.
Oh, excuse me, that was Terrence Pennick.
Yeah, Littlejohn's the Penn
Littlejohn
State.
is Penn State. They
odds
flipped
he
him.
finishes his career with that number?
Probably
low.
slim.
Yeah,
low.
probably slim.
Pretty slim. Odds that Nick Abrams stays in 42?
Very slim.
Very
Probably pretty slim. I bet he's in 0 pretty quickly.
You think he's? Oh yeah, isn't that what he wore in high
I
school?
think it's what he wore in high school.
Yeah, I think so too.
He looked like a monster wearing 0
Although
in high school.
maybe Mr. Littlejohn is listening. He's like, you know what? There hasn't been another great 35, but it's going to be me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to break the trend.
Why not me? Why not us?
Yeah, exactly.
We good on the jersey talk?
Yes.
I
I'm
reckon
surprised
so.
we stretched it that long, to be honest with you.
Told you.
You just had to let everybody know we argued about it before the show.
Oh, there's no argument.
No argument.
It was a
No
discussion.
arguments. There was an argument. I argued no way that lasts longer than 90 seconds. And here we are, 10 minutes into the local hour. So good job. AP poll reactions, local edition. All right. My first takeaway. 0% chance Missouri is ranked by the time you play them in November. 0%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, here's the funny thing. They'll be inside probably the top 15 the first 3 or 4 weeks of the schedule. But then after that, it's just killer after killer after killer. Then they play Kentucky at some point. And I agree. I don't think Missouri is a top 25 team this year. I don't think they're a top 25 team when they come into Athens. I think they'll have taken a lot of hits at that point. I was kind of surprised that Georgia was ranked that high.
I wasn't surprised that they were ranked that high. I thought that they would be I thought they'd be top 5. I thought they'd either be 4 or 5 more than likely, but I also didn't expect Texas to be at number 5. I honestly didn't expect Notre Dame to be at 4 either.
Yeah, I would have.
So I wasn't too surprised to see them at number 3, but I get what you're saying too. Like, I was more so expecting it to be 4 or 5 for Georgia. But I'd also say, like, probably the perfect spot you want to be if you're a Georgia fan, because nobody wants to be preseason ranked number 1.
Nope.
If Georgia was ranked any lower than 4, there's probably a lot of people saying that Georgia got disrespected. I think this is, from a fan's perspective, like the perfect place you'd want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that top 3 is always where you're going to want to be, not 1. So I'm fine with the ranking. I was just a bit surprised by it.
Want to get to some super chubs real quick because we forgot to do this during the national hour. Controlled Chaos Moto says, I guess he's a motocross guy. We love motocross around here. Everyone's sleeping on the Tide. That's right. Just let them sleep, baby. Bama Brooks hat put on. We're just now in the local hour. Let them sleep. We'll see. Expert analysis right there. Luke Roberts, 8868, said, how'd you enjoy the Paw Patrol movie, Brooks? Luke Roberts follows me on Instagram, if you're not, at Brooks Austin BA. I will tell you what I told every parent that asked me about that in my Instagram direct messages. It's not like Toy Story. It's not like Finding Nemo. It's not like these great childhood movies that we grew up with that your parents can go and somewhat be entertained. That is a kid's movie. So don't go in there thinking you're about to watch a banger, because you're not. Your kids are going to love it, though. Your kids are absolutely going to love it, especially if they have, like my theater over there in Bethlehem, Georgia has, where you can buy the Paw Patrol hats for your kids. My son watched the entire Paw Patrol movie with his Marshall hat on.
Nice.
It was sick.
That's
so
probably
yeah.
like a core memory for him. I guarantee it. That'll be
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a
he's
core
6
memory.
now. It probably will be. Immediately asked this morning, or Sunday morning. We watched it on Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday. Asked on Sunday morning if the wife could take him, because I took the kids to the movie to give my wife some time off.
Yeah.
And immediately we woke up Sunday morning. He was like, "Can we go to the movie with Mom today?" I was like, "Probably not, son," because shocker, it cost me like $105 to go watch a movie.
They are expensive.
It was
nowadays.
ridiculous. All right, so there's that. William Gray says, I have concerns about Arthur Smith at OSU. Does his schemes fit with the usual identity of Ohio State? Does OSU have a history of good tight ends? First and foremost, yes, Ohio State does have quality tight ends. I wouldn't say they have like perennial first rounders out of that room. Most of their first rounders come out of the wide receiver room, and they get overshadowed in the tight end room because of that. But no, I think Arthur Smith is smart enough to know that he's not going to come down here and all of a sudden be a predominant 12 personnel football team under center trying to do what like Kyle Shanahan does in the NFL or Sean McVay does in the NFL. I think he will conditionalize that offense for college football. I also think that no different than whoever the defensive coordinator is at Georgia, you're going to run some iteration of Kirby Smart's defense.
Correct.
No matter who the offensive coordinator is at Ohio State, he's the second smartest offensive coordinator in the building. Mm-hmm. The head coach is the offensive brainstem out there at Ohio State. And Ryan Day, spoiler alert, pretty damn good at offensive coordinating and offensive play design. Control Chaos comes back again and says, do you see players' pay going up or staying where it is at right now by 2030? Inflation.
Depends on what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Save College Sports Act is going to get passed.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So it's going to go up.
Only up from here then.
Yeah, only up from here. If there's no legislation brought down nationally, we are going to go through the roof with this pay-for-play stuff. And the haves will continue to be haves more than ever before. And the have-nots will be further and further down the list of have-nots. If some rule doesn't come into play, I would imagine pretty soon, like as soon as next year, we have a $70 million roster.
Would not shock.
I can almost guarantee you right now that will happen. So, Jay Will, what ages you more, the Falcons or fatherhood? Let's save that one. Let's save that one.
Okay.
Let's save that one.
All right. Am I aging? Am I aging horribly already? That's my question immediately reading that.
It happens pretty quickly.
I'm concerned.
It happens pretty quickly. Not for you. I'm just saying for me, it happened pretty quickly. Yeah, we had to, like, I feel like my body doesn't change. And like, no matter how many good things I do, like I've been working out like an animal for like 2 months now. Nothing has happened. Nothing. My run times have gone down, but I do not feel like I look any different. But I guarantee if I spent 2 months doing nothing but terrible things, I would swell up like a tick. And that's just not happening right now. So anyways, where were we at?
Moving on to another segment.
Oh, no. I got some more AP poll reactions.
Oh.
Bama will be top 10 by the time that you play them.
Yes.
In fact, I think there's a potential that Bama is the highest ranked team in that matchup because you might lose to Oklahoma.
That's fair.
That's not a horrendously
Now,
disrespectful assumption.
I would say though, like depending on what that loss is, like Georgia is ranked number 3, probably not going to move at all until they play Oklahoma. If they lose to Oklahoma, who is ranked number 10, it's a close game. Georgia might fall to 7. They might fall to 8. Alabama, on the other hand, I don't know how much they're going to move up in the rankings with the games that they have before Georgia. So even if Georgia does lose to Oklahoma, they're still where they're the higher ranked team.
That's a good point, Jim.
Also, Florida will certainly be, in my opinion, ranked by the time Halloween comes around. They'll be 5-2, and they'll be well inside the top 25.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that'll add a ranked win. But we're taking one away because Missouri, no shot in hell they will be towards the end of the year. I'm just daring a Missouri fan to clip us and save that for the end of the year when you manage some miraculous way to go 8-4. I'm sure it'll happen. There's got to be a Mizzou fan listening somewhere. Ole Miss probably won't be inside the top 10 by the time you get there in November.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's late in the season.
All right.
I do think it's interesting, though, that while Georgia doesn't have the toughest schedule, in fact, some would say they have the easiest schedule in the conference, at least the metrics do. And yes, that is true by the number of ranked teams that they play in the conference this year. But the ranked teams that they do play, it's number 10, it's number 13, and it's number 9 right now. And then it's also 25, Missouri right now. But it'll be a 23rd ranked Florida or a 18th ranked Florida.
Did you just make a mouth fart?
Yeah.
Super Chubb asking for thoughts on South Carolina after the scrimmage this weekend. We talked a good bit of South Carolina in the National Hour, though I will caution you to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Just
be careful.
Unless you want to come back and hate me. If so, feel free. Somebody on this stage, not going to point any fingers, bet the under on 6.5 wins. Mm-hmm. So somebody on this stage is betting that you're probably in a head coaching search by the end of the year. Don't know who it was, but it was somebody. Should we get into these scrimmage notes from sources?
Yes. Let's hear them.
All right. So there was the first scrimmage. Well, first public scrimmage. Just news alert, okay? If you think that was the first time they've had extended practice of good on good just because they were inside of a stadium and it was Saturday and it was labeled a scrimmage day, you don't know Georgia football. They've been going good on good. They've had the pads on. They've probably tackled to the ground well before that, okay? Because that's how Georgia football is. But anyways, I always love the overreactions from this first public scrimmage, even though the team, the intel on the team has not changed all that much from our sources, despite the fact that they finally had a scrimmage this weekend is what I'm trying to get at. But here's what we will do. We'll overreact right now. You ready? Mm-hmm. Defense, I'm told, whipped that ass for like 2 straight hours. 2.5 straight hours just whipped. In fact, I was told the only touchdown that was scored during the scrimmage period, not red zone, not third down period, just move the ball, actual good on good, 2s on 2s, 3s on 3s, 1s on 1s. There was 1 touchdown scored. And guess what, Mike Bobo haters? It was on a screen pass.
No. What do you know?
You guys playing that audible gasp together? That was cute.
I mean, no, we did not plan that. I will say this, though. This is not me discrediting the defense, but this is a known commodity, it seems like, when it comes to fall camp and scrimmages.
Yes.
Is you're typically going to get a scrimmage, and it's usually one of the first scrimmages of, the defense just absolutely ate up the offense's lunch. But that's a good sign. It's a good sign to hear about the defense for sure.
So, yeah, I was told it was a Bo Walker halfback screen, open to the field, turned back to the boundary, released Ekene Ogboko into the boundary from the left tackle spot.
We talking traditional halfback screen?
So we're getting halfback screens?
No, not traditional. It was a 1-leaker, not a full 5 release.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it was not a swing screen.
Okay.
It was not a motion to empty, throw a now screen. This was we slipped the back out of the backfield, gave them a ball in the flat, and then Ekene Ogboko caught an absolute body, I was told, and then Bo Walker ran for about 55 yards.
So do you think that might mean he could be the answer in the passing game from the running back room?
No, I think it was just happenstance.
Okay.
He was on the field.
Gotcha.
I still don't think they have an answer on third down yet.
Okay.
From the who is Cash Jones this year,
Right.
I don't know if they have that answer.
Okay.
I don't know if they will until midseason. I certainly don't think it will look like Cash Jones's role, where they free checked him out a lot, and he was willing to stand in there and pick up Mike Blitzes quite a bit. That dude played fearless in A-gap recoveries. But yeah, no, it was a defensive day. I was told the Bo Walker touchdown we addressed. Here's what I have news on. I was told no Drew Bobo during the scrimmage, but not to worry about it. He'll be all right. It's not like a an elongated thing. Should be fine. No Chase Linton. Have no idea why. Don't know what was going on. I'm sure somebody else has got it. Kyron Jones, I was told, for like the second straight week, because I was at the first scrimmage or first available practice. I felt like Kyron Jones was due to absolutely murder someone physically, not like literally.
Right.
But that dude's a headhunter, and he got him one this weekend.
Good.
Craig Dandridge probably in the protocol, if you know what I mean. Be all right, though, you know. If anything, probably good news. Just keep him under wraps for another 7 days, maybe 10.
Smart.
That's true.
Yeah, just keep him in a bubble. He'll be all right.
What a welcome to college football moment I'm sure that was.
Yeah.
I'm very glad to hear that Kyron Jones is actually playing.
Yeah.
Like it seemed.
Oh, he's playing well, I'm told.
It seemed for a while like it was like, is he gonna come back from the foot injury? What's going on there? Like
Just another body in that safety room that we're like, it could be him. He could be the starter. Just another really good football player that you add into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The internet was freaking out about drops. And it was like, oh, the wide receivers suck. I was told, I think there were 9 drops in the practice. Over half of them came from the tight ends.
Interesting.
Tight end room had a bad day from a drop standpoint. So take that which you will. Everybody but Riddell.
You don't want to hear okay, well, there's a plus, I guess, but you never want to hear drops regardless, like no matter who it's from, especially from Georgia fans because of recency and what 2024 looked like. Anytime you throw around the word drops were kind of occurrent during practice, that's going to give some flashbacks, some PTSD. But I mean, I saw a Tennessee fan, I believe it was Turkey Slammer in our chat earlier, saying Tennessee's dealing with drops right now. And I know that hasn't been a recurring thing for them, but I mean, Tennessee's wide receiver room is not bad this year. They got some really good football players in there.
Kind of a recurring theme from Mike Matthews.
That's true.
We have heard that, yes.
Mike Matthews.
But they're not bad football players.
If I throw Mike Matthews 11 balls, he's going to catch 7 of them for 111, and he's going to drop the other 4.
Well,
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If I'm in that offensive system, I'm just okay with it. Now, would I like you to catch all 11? Yeah. Yeah, I would. But, you know, there's got to be some give and take there. Not everybody is perfect in that position particularly. Did anybody see the internet saying that Gunnar Stockton stinks or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw some stuff saying that some people liked the backups better than he.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because I was told Gunnar took fewer snaps than every other quarterback out there.
Oh, I wonder why. Almost like he's a known commodity.
Yeah, almost like they're trying to figure out who the backup is. Which, to my knowledge and my sourcing, they still don't have an answer. I'm putting my money on Buddha, though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm putting my
like
money
legitimately?
Yeah. No, I'm not trolling you, Jonathan. I don't do
just
that.
asking.
I don't do that. But yeah,
just
legitimately.
Rage bait us like 20 minutes ago about
Yeah.
Shut
right.
up. Shut up.
I'm just asking.
Shut your mouth.
Sorry.
No, I think legitimately, if they had to go out there, if Gunnar got hurt today, I think they would probably roll with Hezekiah Mullen.
Like
Really? That's interesting.
So hearing that and then seeing people on social media talk about how they liked either Montgomery or Puglisi more than they like Gunnar, that just proves to me or makes me think that for some fans, it really does just boil down to how does it look. Like just from how the quarterback looks physically and how it looks coming out of their hands. Like the result almost doesn't matter to them at all. It just is, well, that looks a lot cleaner than how Gunnar looks. He looks more like a quarterback than Gunnar does. So I think he's better.
Actually got a stat here for you. 9 for 24 on 3rd and 7+ during the third down period.
That doesn't seem bad, right?
No, I think those are good numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, I was told it was not like 3rd and 2 period.
No.
It was 3rd and 7+.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of 3rd and 11s. There were a lot of 3rd and 10s. 9 for 24, and probably would have been somewhere around 50% had the drops not occurred.
Oh, wow.
Because there are a lot of them that occurred during that period. And not surprisingly enough, I was also told that was coincidentally the period Gunnar played the most.
So tying 2 and 2 together, what this would tell me is
Gunner's the starter.
Great job, Christian.
Atta
That's
boy.
really good analysis.
Atta boy.
Everybody give a golf clap for Kirby. That tells me that they're really honing in on the tight ends to be playmakers for them this year. Like if it's 3rd and longs, you gotta have it, need an explosive play essentially. If the tight ends are the ones being targeted, that tells me like they're really trying to make sure that they're a big focal point of the offense.
Well, they have to be. They're one of the most talented teams in the room. So
Deepest, too.
yeah, certainly deepest. Sources told me offensive line looked really good, especially on rewatch, going back and watching the film. Ekene Ogboko's already taken a job, by the way. Not a starting job, but he's kicked somebody out of that tackle 3 spot. You know, that guy we've been kind of hoping one day puts it together. If he puts it together, he'll play till he's 40. He still hasn't put it together.
I mean, look, that scenario was always, that is icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
That is complete icing on the cake.
You're talking about Josh Jackson being icing on the cake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and what I mean by that is Josh Jackson is a guy that nobody really envisioned him ever playing football. Georgia takes him onto their roster, and he's at least been a contributor on field goal unit. He's been playing there, and now he's at least made it to where he might see the field this year. Like, that guy who was never ranked as a football player, him even being in that position, like, that's icing on the cake at that point.
I hate to do this, but it's bugging me. Will you straighten up your Kirby photo?
Yes.
It's nice and tilted, and it's making me crazy. Yeah, no, the Josh Jackson thing, I don't think it's going to work out. We thought he was going to be an answer. I mean, there were some people during the spring that thought he might be so good at tackle that Juan Gaston plays guard. That will not be the case. Zakai Helton will start, I would imagine, week 1 at right guard. Juan Gaston will be next to him at right tackle. Donnie Glover will be on the left guard spot. Drew Bobo will be at center. Cortez Smith will be his backup. Ernest Green will be the left tackle. Ekene Ogboko will be first up off the bench.
2 offensive linemen you hit in the freshman class.
So, I mean, if that's that's almost icing on the cake now, because I think that Josh Jackson is at the very least serviceable. Correct? I don't think, okay.
Look,
Not towards the end of practice, I was told.
okay.
Yeah. Kind of waned on him a little bit.
Okay. I got you.
I was told maybe a little food during 2 minute.
Okay.
So
is that a conditioning thing at that point, though?
I mean, if it is, we got to talk about the conditioning staff. He's been there almost 3 years.
Well,
And I'm not the one to ever question Scott Sinclair. I think that dude's one of the best in the
I think
in
at
the
that
business.
point you have to talk.
Yeah, Sinclair.
I think at that point you have to talk about the player.
Yeah.
That's not
I think that's where we're at. But no, I'm just happy that Juan Gaston is not going to leave the field. B, going to do most of his work at tackle, because I've been dreaming of the day he doesn't leave the tackle spot. So hopefully this is the year.
So I saw this conversation spark up in our Discord this past weekend where
Patreon.com/Brooks Austin.
amen, great community over there, where there was a discussion being had about Juan projecting as a guard at the NFL. What are your thoughts on that?
Says who?
I can't remember, and I don't want to call anybody out because, again, this is just
Probably
people.
the same scouts that did the other 10 ones we did last week.
This was just a discussion being had in the Discord, so I don't want to call anybody out, and I also don't remember who said it. But I also looked at that and was like, Juan Gaston is a tackle all day long at the NFL. Like, that dude is going to play tackle, and he should play tackle. The only way that Juan Gaston doesn't play tackle at the NFL is if he gets into a situation like he was his first year at Georgia, where the team that drafts him is just good enough already at tackle, and they're like, well, you can play guard too. We need help at guard, and he'll play guard, but he should be a tackle.
Brooks, this is 360 degrees from what you were saying 6 weeks ago about Ja. You guys have a much better memory than me. But I think I was questionative I think the theme of him this entire spring, no matter what sources were saying, was got to see it to believe it.
Also,
Yeah.
not to correct our viewers, if you go 360 from your original point, you're in the same spot. It's
splitting
180.
hairs. Splitting hairs.
So I hate to be that
Grammar police over here.
I hate to be that guy, but it's 180.
Mr. Literal over here.
No fun zone Kirby.
Sorry, guys. But I mean, no.
KGB Kirby over here.
Oh, here we go again with that.
What's up?
No, I mean, I think that we were kind of looking around because sources were indicating like, hey, Josh Jackson, this is real. This isn't just hype. Obviously, there was some hype being built by the fan base, but it seems like the hype is waning now.
Well, and also, like, when players get hyped up during the spring, there's always going to be some situations where it doesn't exactly pan out the way you think it's going to. Like, there's always some players that have a great spring. Seems like they're going to be a major factor this upcoming season. The season rolls around, and it's like, well, where's so-and-so? Why aren't they playing? We heard so much about them during the offseason. It just doesn't pan out the way you think it will all the time. And it was good that Josh Jackson seemingly had a great spring. There was a lot of buzz around him. And I would say that it probably has to coincide with the fact of Ekene Ogboko is going to be a good player, it sounds like, and Jaw Jackson just hasn't been able to maintain what he was doing in the spring and also in the fall.
Safety rotation sounds like it's KJ and Kyron Jones, then Dink, then Riddle. That's how I imagine they start out this year.
Wow.
KJ not coming off the field.
Don't blame him.
He's been insane this fall
All right.
camp.
Here's the hypothetical.
Yeah.
KJ does come off the field. Whether that be he's gotten a targeting penalty or he's tweaked something and has to go get checked out. Who's taking KJ's spot? Because I feel like we
Probably Riddle. Somebody who can play deep safety.
Okay.
Because Kyron, and I love Kyron Jones. I think he's a great tackler. He's a great football player. I don't know if I ever want Kyron Jones running the deep field.
Probably not.
Deep
No.
middle.
Yeah.
That's
So if KJ does come off and Kyron stays on, somebody's got to be able to play midfield. And Dink's a downhill guy too, but can turn and run. But I think Jamarlee is probably the answer there.
interesting.
Yeah. You'll like this one. Gabe Harris caught a body. In typical Gabe Harris fashion.
Good.
Running like
Hustling.
running like his damn hair's on fire, Kirby or Jonathan. Yeah, I was told he might have got Zacoby White a little bit. Zacoby White doing a little dancing. If you act, speaking of dancing, Dantzler and Glory released a clip of him practicing his radio calls.
Oh, yeah.
And that call, I'm told, was the Gabe Harris hit on Zacoby White.
Which Jeff Dantzer's reaction would indicate that it was
It was a big hit.
a large hit.
Yeah, it was. So, he got him one.
I'll miss Scott Howard, but I'm really excited to hear Dantzler, especially over the post game highlight videos that the social media team posts. They always intertwine Scott Howard. I'm really excited to see what Dantzler's able to cook up for those, because that's one of my favorite parts about those videos is hearing the radio call, because we do not hear the radio calls obviously during the games because we're at the games.
You think we can sneak into that booth? Say,
Maybe.
Hey, can I sit by you?
Perhaps. I'm probably not going to test any limits.
You got to go down 2 floors now, don't you?
They're not on the same floor. I mean,
Are they? They're not up in the corner. They stayed in the radio call and the television booths are still at the old
I
press
believe
box, right?
So,
I think
yes.
so.
The
Yeah, so
television
they're
is
separated from the normal media folk. They're the elitist media. So you guys are up there in the tippity.
Oh, yeah. We're way up there. It's a good view, though. Can see everything. Don't miss anything.
It was great until the AC went out. When did the AC go out? Spring game?
Austin P.
Ooh.
buddy.
I was not.
You want to talk about a bad game for that to happen to? This was the rain delay game at halftime, the lightning delay. I think I was the first person in the press box. I think we got there that early because the game time got switched up. So we.
Oh yeah, because of rain.
Yeah, and we just happened to be there early enough. So I was the first person in there, and as soon as I get in there, the security lady who's always there, she's very nice. She's like, AC's out, so you might want to go get you a couple of waters. And I was like, excuse me? It's September in Athens. It's a noon game. And the AC's out. Oh, it was hot. It was miserable.
Wait until Tennessee State 3:30 kick, though. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to find out who's a lunatic. We're going to find out who's been doing their heat advisory therapy this offseason. You been in the sauna?
I have.
Yeah, you're going to be all right. You been in the sauna?
No.
Watch out for my boy.
I'll be
We'll be
inside.
in the press box.
Oh,
though.
that's right.
Now I might go down to the field, of course, pregame.
I'll probably ride my bike to the stadium, though.
Ooh, look at you.
Not me.
You gonna be wearing pants?
I don't know yet. Maybe I haven't decided.
I hope you.
I
wear
usually
some
pick the
type
fit
of
like the
pants.
day of. So
Oh, you don't lay it out before the night before, like first day of school?
I don't know.
Like do you sleep in it? Like
Yeah, I sleep with it right
like
next
when
to
you're
me
a
on the
kid
bed.
and it's the day before your game. Like, gotta sleep in the jersey, baby.
I never slept in a jersey.
All right, I gotta get this. I gotta get this reaction. Rookie preseasons. What's been going on, Jonathan? NFL rookie, NFL. What is it? Preseason is
Yeah.
currently underway, and take the floor, Jonathan. What's been going on?
Yeah, so I was sitting at home Saturday night and football was on. And not only was football on, but the Atlanta Falcons were playing. I was in a good mood. I was really excited. My wife, Morgan, was even like, what are we watching? I didn't think it was football season. Like, it's preseason, but I just really want to watch because I think that I just need some football. I want to watch some football. I was in a great mood. I was so looking forward to this. And my night was completely ruined by one Cooper Rush. Everybody wanted to talk about Tua. And you know what? Tua wasn't all that great. He had 5 attempts. Didn't really get to see that much. What we did see wasn't great. But boy, Cooper Rush put on perhaps the worst performance I've ever seen from a quarterback in quite a while. And I've seen some bad quarterback play, okay? It's been a turnstile down there in Atlanta. So I've seen it all until I saw Cooper Rush.
I mean, this guy set through Desmond Ridder.
Yes, Desmond Ridder. I mean, you name it. I have been through it at that position lately. And Cooper Rush has by far been the worst that I've ever seen. I was even like, you know what? Zachariah Branch, his debut. I'm sorry, Zachariah. I'm sorry that's who you had your NFL debut with Cooper Rush. Threw 2 interceptions. Horrible. I mean, I was sitting there like, this is embarrassing. This is one of the worst things I've ever watched in my entire life. So my mood was completely ruined by that. And I've been very disturbed by it ever since.
Well, you always got the Braves.
Yes, yes, thank goodness.
You always got the Braves.
Thank goodness.
Until like mid-October.
Well, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Jonathan, you're an Atlanta fan.
Yes.
They will find a way to let you down. Except for that one time.
2021.
You'll always have 2021.
Exactly.
Jonathan. You will always have 2021. But yeah, the Falcons' reactions on social media were hysterical.
Yeah, everybody talked about Tua, buddy. That's who you should have been talking about. Get him off the roster. We do not need him right now. He is not worth anything. Gosh. I can't believe Dallas Cowboys fans had the audacity to say that man was better than Dak Prescott.
Do you ever think that the football gods make you guys bad because if you were good, you'd stop being funny?
Oh,
because the Falcons have the funniest fan base in the NFL. Anytime they are hilarious.
Bro, y'all even took an absolute kill shot from Sean Payton. I think they're up 20.
Screw that guy.
I think they were.
He sucks. Like, it's a preseason game. He expects us to pack the house for a preseason game? That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Sean Payton sucks. That was so dumb. I don't know why. Oh, Sean Payton cooked the Falcons. Buddy, we don't get people to show up for the regular season games. You thought we were going to pack it out for the preseason?
Yeah, but the horn went off when they scored in the fourth quarter, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's a great stadium. I love it when I go cover a game there. I'm just saying, it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I was not okay.
It sounds like you're still not okay.
No, I told you, these feelings have been harbored inside of me since Saturday night. It was just disaster. One of the worst things I've ever watched.
Apparently, a lot of Falcons fans dressed up as empty seats, such as Sean Payton.
Again, dumb.
Up 28 to nothing going
not a
into
good
half.
burn. We've heard that before.
Har. Good one, Sean. It's preseason.
So mad.
Because it was like, that's so dumb to me.
I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to get some more ways to get him to go off about this.
Nah,
Look, usually,
Are the Hawks going to be any decent this year?
yeah, they retained most of who they had last year. They made the playoffs last year. Gave the Knicks. They took the Knicks further in the playoffs than anybody else did, other than in the finals, I believe. But
all right, we've been going through our preseason previews for all these SEC opponents. Up next is the Auburn Tigers. Now, or are the Auburn Tigers. Now, this game will be played at Athens.
Before we get into that,
Go ahead.
Do we, going off of the scrimmage stuff and everything that we talked about, is it time to start raising some red flags about this offense?
To me, the answer is no, because all of the concerns have been concerns for 6 months now. We have been worried about this wide receiver core since the start. Since the start of the offseason, we've been worried about, are they going to be good enough a wide receiver? That's the biggest question mark. During this scrimmage, Gunnar Stockton barely played any, hardly at all. So I was told. And the other thing is, I've told you this, I think this is the best defensive backcourt y'all have had since I've covered the football team. Mm-hmm. So you guys are going to be able to strap it up against anybody that y'all play, including yourselves.
And that's why it ultimately falls back on what we've said the entire time. And I think that no matter what the situation would have been in fall camp, we still would have felt this way of we won't know until we see it on Saturdays. Even if you heard glowing remarks about the wide receiver room right now, I still think there is a part of you that would have been like, well, I still got to see it to believe it. I got to actually see it happen for me to believe that this wide receiver room is actually going to be great this season. So it could just be that the secondary is that good, and the good news is you may not face a secondary that's better than yours, other than maybe Alabama this season. But ultimately, you weren't going to believe it until you actually saw it with your own eyes.
And on top of that, I think it is worth noting that this has been the most publicly accessed offseason in Georgia football history. Like, how many open practice periods?
Well, pre-Kirby Smart, maybe not.
Maybe.
This is the most access you've had to Georgia preseason in the Kirby Smart era. Fact.
I can't remember a time when Mark Richt was opening up the doors for them to come watch scrimmages like this, where hundreds of fans could come. I don't remember that. Either way, it is somewhat probably a product of being able to see drops in person and hearing the defense has had really good days and all these things, whereas beforehand it was insider sources and you'd make your own opinions. Now a booster can go and watch it and go on Twitter and say this team sucks, yada yada yada. Like, there's a lot more opportunity for negativity, and I think it's why Kirby Smart kept this locked down so much like Fort Knox for so long, so you don't let that happen. That said, I agree that the questions around the wide receiver room are starting to become concerns because no one is stepping up in that. It felt like last year we heard good things about Zachariah Branch. Colby Young was insane. We heard some good things about Noah Thomas even. So I think that it might just be a combination of the star power is probably lacking, combined with the fact that the public has way more access and can spin the narrative in a negative way more so than ever.
Auburn preview?
Sure.
Let's do this. I think of all of the wide choice offenses left in the conference, this will be the most truest form of wide choice that we have. I feel like Jeff Lebby is far closer to what Mike Leach was doing from a duos vertical standpoint as opposed to stacking guys way outside the numbers. I feel like their spacing isn't as drastic and bastardized as what USF was doing last year and what I expect them to do this year at Auburn. And we saw how much that Tennessee offense has morphed. And we even talked to Josh Heupel about this during SEC Media Days. They are a different, more pro-style version of wide choice than they were in 2022 when Alex Golesh was there. So I think this will be the most morphed, or the least morphed version of wide choice, which leads in your favor, by the way, because in my opinion, no defensive unit in this entire conference is more suited to stop the run with light counts than the University of Georgia. That's what they do. That's why Tennessee's always had problems with them. Historically, prior to last year, they scored a lot of points, but normally they don't. That's why Mississippi State has problems with them. That's why I would imagine Auburn's going to have problems with them. That being said, quarterback run game is going to be totally different. It's going to be a different animal with Byron Brown than what you have faced in this offense previously.
So that's what I wanted to ask real quick.
Ahead.
Since I know that Georgia has faced these wide choice offenses before, but this is by far the biggest rushing threat that they faced at quarterback with the wide choice offense. Does that make it are you able to play it with a light box because it adds in another rusher into the equation, and so it kind of makes it even more unbalanced?
Probably not is the answer, but you'll start out with light boxes until they force you to add hats.
Okay.
The other thing, I don't worry. Chris Brazzell was a dude. All right.
Yeah.
In that system, he's a dude. The twitchy kid from Mississippi State wore 0 last year.
Brennan Thompson
could run by just about anybody. He threatened you. I don't know if Auburn has a receiver right now that I look at and say, Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones can't take care of that guy.
Yeah, and even thinking back to what I think is probably the best wide choice offense that Georgia played in the Kirby Smart era of the 2022 Tennessee Volunteers, I don't think they have a Jalen Hyatt here. I don't think that there is even a Squirrel White or Cedric Tillman. Those guys are not on this Auburn wide receiver staff right now.
Yeah, and it's all USF players. It looks like it's going to be starting for them.
Yeah, and the other thing about this USF offense that I think they have perfected under Golesh is the traditional screen game that they have going on. I'm not talking about wide receiver screens. They beat Florida off halfback screens. It's my opinion, having rewatched that just a couple days ago on our channel with the Byron Brown study, that screen game is legit, okay? And they are a screen game football team with vertical shots, and that's about it from a passing perspective. And that's okay because I think it alleviates a lot of the throwing mechanical issues that Byron Brown has, and they can still win in the margins there. But I don't think they're going to beat Georgia this year scoring 17 points like they did Florida last year. So we'll just say that. They can run the ball, but can they run the ball against you guys? That's always been the question about these wide choice football teams. And the other question I had already mentioned, do their weapons scare you at all? We'll find out, I would imagine. Now, they do they do a good job of getting their playmakers the ball in space because of the spacing of the offense. But I just wonder how well they do it against you guys. Defensive lines at Auburn, for my entire lifetime, have been solid.
It's so weird.
It's not. It's not when you know high school football in Alabama, and I'm not demeaning you. I'm telling the audience.
Right.
Okay. If you know Alabama high school football, they are a defensive line state. That's what they are. They grow 300-pound thickums on trees out there. You can walk outside in the state of Alabama, go to a high school football game on Friday night and go, holy hell, look at that dude. That dude can play SEC football tomorrow. And they just have a litany of them. I think they're no different than defensive linemen in the state of Alabama is, to me, what the state of Louisiana is for wide receivers. The state of Florida is for defensive backs and what have you. Like California is for quarterback play. Like I think that when I think of Alabama high school football, I think of defensive line. That's what they will always have. And that's, to me, why Auburn defensive lines have always been just freaking elite. And they will be that again this year.
Yeah,
no matter if you don't know the name of anybody out there, they're going to be good at stopping the run.
I can't really remember a whole lot of times either throughout my entire life where Auburn's just had a horrible defense.
Yeah, kind of akin to like South Carolina in the last 5 years like that. Like South Carolina defensively has always been solid.
Like
never been bad.
Hasn't exactly been a great program over the years and hasn't exactly aged the best necessarily. But I can never remember a time where it was like, oh, Auburn's defense is just absolute food this year.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what makes this matchup pretty interesting from a standpoint. Like, the offense is going to do what the offense is going to do. I don't think that's necessarily something. We kind of know what to expect with these wide choice offenses. Obviously, Byron Brown being able to run adds a new wrinkle to it. I'm more interested to see what this defense can do, or what Georgia's offense can do against this defense, because Georgia got kind of smothered last year. Now, it's on the road. I understand a lot of things were going wrong. I understand that it had a lot of momentum, but
a turnstile at tackle.
Correct.
Yeah.
The other one is barely playing on one foot. Monroe Freeling was
what a dog performance in that.
Was
that
absolutely
kid.
Just giving everything he had. So there's reasons as to why Georgia got held to 20 points, but I don't think you'd feel comfortable knowing that could happen again.
So we talked about the defensive line over there at Auburn. I think they have a top 3 linebacker unit, maybe in the sport, certainly in the conference. Xavier Atkins, Elijah Melendez, and the Bryce Dees kid is really good too. Those 3 football players, and the Dees kid gets used in a very unique way. They throw him all over the field. Hey, come on, man.
I didn't say anything.
Come on, man.
Didn't say anything.
I'm trying to talk real football over here.
Are we sure it's pronounced that way?
It's Deas. How would you pronounce that?
Deas.
Deas. Bryce Deas. Bryce Dees. Bryce is a good football player. Xavier Atkins, the Melendez kid, just keeps getting bigger and keeps getting better from what I've seen from fall camp out of those guys. I would say Georgia, Auburn, and Oklahoma have the best linebacker units in the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And I don't even know who would be a 4th.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an immediate answer, at least.
Definitely not an immediate answer, no.
They got good safeties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about their corner room. We're going to find out about those guys.
Yeah, we will.
If you can't get loose outside against Auburn, you might not be able to get loose this year.
Now,
that'll be a good litmus test for your outside receivers.
Well, hopefully we find an answer long before that, because they play a handful.
Yeah, you're right. It's like mid-October.
Yeah.
Now, did Golish run a fast-paced offense?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost all wide choice offenses are fast-paced.
So I was just curious about that because
in some of these matchups where they were a little bit like you can find an answer. Go look at the Georgia or the USF Florida game and look at the box score and tell me how many offensive snaps they took. If it's north of 75, they're still a quote-unquote fast-paced offense. If they slowed it down because the game was tight and they knew points were going to be at a premium, they were trying to maximize possessions, that's a different version of wide choice. What do you got for me?
They had 29 rushing attempts, and then they had 36 passing attempts.
So that's what, 65?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they slowed it down considerably in that football game. And I remember them kind of slowing it down a little bit against Alabama the 2 times they kept it close. So,
yeah.
Maybe another bastardized version of this. Maybe they don't tweak the splits. Maybe they tweak the snap counts.
Right.
So, yeah, it could be an answer there. I think DJ Durkin is a top 3 coordinator in this conference as well.
That's the biggest retention for them.
The fact that they retained him was so massive from last year.
Absolutely huge for that football team. I still think Georgia beats them by north of 17 points at home.
You would hope so. History certainly indicates that that's the case.
Why is that?
I don't know, to be honest.
Is Jordan Hare that spooky?
That might play a role in it. Like maybe it gets in some people's heads.
Auburn hasn't really beaten Georgia a whole lot in the last 20 years. Like it was 2010 with Cam Newton, 2013 because of the prayer at Jordan Hare, 2017, and then before that, I think maybe between somewhere earlier than that, like 2005 is the last time Georgia lost in Athens. So Auburn just doesn't win a whole lot against Georgia in general. I don't know if it's a Sanford Stadium thing. I don't know if it's a Jordan Hare thing.
And contributing to that as well, like their best teams, 2013 and 2017, it also just so happened to be the years that they played at Auburn. Like that partially plays a role in it. Like maybe it's different if those two teams end up playing in Athens.
Nah, I think Cam Newton probably gets you anywhere.
Well, no, I'm saying 2013.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, yes. Like I mean that guy was a demon.
By the way, every time I see highlights of that guy on social media, it makes me want to slap everyone that's like, "Oh, could he be Cam Newton?" Yeah. No, there will never be another Cam Newton.
Were you watching the Carolina Panthers cut up?
No, I was watching him absolutely run through LSU's defense
because
then outrun Pat Peterson to the damn goal line.
Because I saw a play, it was a Carolina Panthers cut up from him, and I saw a play of him on the goal line, and it looked like that dude jumped 15 feet in the air to get in the end zone.
He probably did.
It was like, we don't have this. We will never have that ever again. I'm comfortable saying that.
You will never, ever, ever, ever see another quarterback like Cam Newton.
And that's why, and I know you weren't here for this show. It was during the offseason. I think it was during your football pilgrimage. It's why I said we need to create a book of football comps for dummies. And there needs to be bylaws in this book of you cannot compare these players to this player. Cam Newton being one of them. You cannot compare anybody to Cam Newton.
Every sub 6'1" quarterback cannot be Drew Brees. They just won't be. So please stop. There is no ever in my lifetime there will never be another Cam Newton.
Yeah, I'm cool with you saying that. Absolutely.
That's fair.
That was my brother's freshman year at Auburn, and I was at I think 5 of the 6 Auburn home games that year. And that dude in person, oh my God, he was so big,
rather large,
and so fast, and his ability to stop on a dime. I mean, I think I saw somebody the other day tweeted out that on that offense there was only one other football player that had one NFL start, apart from Cam Newton, and they won a national title. It'll never happen ever again.
Yeah, I know the defense didn't have anybody.
Nick Fairley.
Oh yeah.
By the way, was at that Terry Business thing last week, and I know people know how banged up Aaron Murray was during that football game, but I don't think they know.
He
tore his knee up, cracked his sternum. I think he said 10 stitches in his chin after the first series of the football game. God. They said the next week he came into practice looking like the Michelin Man. Like he had so much gear on him just to get out. The toughest SOB.
Oh yeah.
That you don't talk about as like a tough SOB.
One of the most underrated aspects of his game was how tough he was. That dude always
hated Nick Fairley. Dude.
I think it's because he seems so, and he seems so nice. And he's so salt to the earth that everybody just assumes, oh, he's pre-boy quarterback.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Well,
that guy was a dog.
That dude's doing Ironmans right now. I think he's pretty dang tough.
He's kind of a lunatic.
I would say, objectively speaking, probably one of the more handsome quarterbacks to go under center in the Georgia football history.
That's fair. But there was also a reason why he said that game almost made him quit football.
I mean, not to objectify Aaron Murray, but he's 1, and I don't know who 2 is.
Yeah, and again, I think
he is by far and away the most handsome quarterback ever played.
When you see Aaron Murray, you don't think like that's a gritty, tough guy right there. You're like, that's like prima donna type.
Not that I'm into talking about the attractiveness of men, but I mean, Jake Fromm is no slouch.
Murray clears.
Murray clears, but I mean, he was not ugly.
All right, that's enough of objectifying males.
Glad we're transitioning.
How about Georgia football players that will win your fantasy league this year? I got several, and I'm going to steal the whole lot. You ready?
Go ahead. Let's list them off.
Nate Frazier is currently RB32 right now.
32?
RB32 on Yahoo. Bo Walker, completely unranked out of 107 running backs.
Where's
Chauncey Bowen's 88th.
Ooh, value plays.
Here's the deal. You're gonna win your league with waiver wires, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Not hoping for an injury, not predicting an injury. But Bo Walker, week 4, is going to be all over your waiver wires. All over. In fact, I'd grab him now. I'd late addition grab him at the end of your draft just for first and second week carries against those tomato cans. Because that dude's going to have a 100-yard game in the first 2 weeks. Mark it. How many wide receivers do you think they ranked?
2.
They ranked 100. Well, I'm talking about total. They ranked 107 running backs. How many wide receivers do you think?
Oh,
300.
Yeah, I'd say like 300.
115 over on Yahoo.
There's not a Georgia one on there.
Nope. No London Humphreys ranked. None. And he's due for 750 yards minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah. I think he's going to be far and away your most reliable wide receiver.
I think people are kind of underestimating how valuable of a player he might be this year.
And how much bigger he's got. Kirby, he looks good.
Minimum, bro.
Minimum. You heard it. Minimum.
Zachariah Branch
had 890 last year.
And he broke the record for receptions in a single season.
I know what I'm talking about. Minimum.
Okay.
All right. Well, Georgia fans like the sound of that.
Grab a sticky note, throw it up on the board. Minimum.
Okay.
27 tight ends ranked.
Georgia had a lot of tight ends.
1.
What?
Just Lawson?
Just Lawson.
See, now
Which is why Elias Williams will win your league.
I was about to say,
Elias Williams will win your league.
But it is one of those situations, too, where not to say it's oversaturated in Georgia's tight end room, but there's going to be a lot of guys getting some targets.
I did think it was, and look, big Gunnar Stockton fan. Everybody loves Gunnar around here. I did find it a little bit questionative that Gunnar was ranked QB 10 and CJ Carr was ranked QB 14.
Well, that's just disrespectful that CJ Carr's 14th. Not even
Correct.
the fact that Gunner's ahead of him.
No.
CJ Carr should be just ahead of majority of quarterbacks.
And from a fantasy perspective, like
he's going to put up numbers against that schedule.
Yeah, and Gunner's going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns this year.
And I think that's where the value is from a fantasy
Gunner's
perspective
favor.
of any rushing quarterback in fantasy. Like that's such a plus.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on the fantasy segment, boys?
I think finding value is the best way you win your league with Georgia. Like, there's not a Georgia player that's going to be your star of the show because there's not a Georgia player on the offense that's a star of the show. Like, unless Zachariah Branch was a force-fed example. Like, that typically doesn't happen in Georgia. Like, it's very much a running back by committee. It's very much a receiver by committee. So, finding value. And if you can just figure out the 1 week where Lawson Lucky is going to go nuclear, that will win you your league.
Hey, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We will be back tomorrow for another film study early in the morning, and then we'll be back at 8 o'clock for our live stream.